Today we're talking about a topic that I've always personally liked. I'm a big horror person, so I'm always thinking to myself like what aspects make it the best game that it can be? Like what individual factor like
It's
elevates it the most as a whole experience. So I have
Mm.
multiple tabs here. They're shitty pictures. I kind of like went and found these last minute, but I know what they represent. So,
okay.
so I figured we start off with the beginning. How important do we believe the beginning of the actual game to be in comparison to everything else?
It's gotta be able to have a hook.
Like
Hmm.
Boring as
how
shit.
important do we think that the hook is for the like? Do you think it's like without that hook, like you can't be saved? Like
Well,
No.
I'm
What are we talking
curious.
about?
So, like, what aspects of a horror game help to elevate it the most? Like, what's the most
Oh.
important key factor?
so
What's the
Bees is asking about the beginning, right?
mm-hmm,
Mm.
the beginning of
Hmm.
the game is the first.
Um.
What helps the beginning of a game? I would say like
Well, it's world building. I want to know where we are.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? Where is it taking place? Is this interesting to me? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I would
Um.
say honestly it depends on the horror game. Like there's several different
Mhm.
kinds. So like
Yeah. Yeah, because some
if
of
it's
them
something
kind of
like
just throw you in
drop
without
you
like
in, yeah.
yeah,
Like
like
think of like
especially
Silent Hill.
yeah, like there's like a lot of games that kind of like leave you with more questions than answers, which I think in itself
Yeah.
is a pretty good hook it's as well. Like
Yeah.
it's
Honest.
kind of like a thing like sometimes less is more. So I think
Mm.
in my
Mhm.
opinion, if I were to rank it, I would put it under key player. I think the beginning of the story is like amongst like one of the more important
Oh,
aspects of it. Either that or
yeah, I
most
think it's
important.
important. I think it's very important
Because if you don't hook
because I
them,
want to be drawn in. Like, if I
yeah,
feel like this shit's gonna be boring from the start, like,
then I'm not gonna follow
I'm
through with it.
out.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. What do you think, Books? If you're here,
Uh,
Twix is dying.
uh, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to have a strong hook, but you gotta have some interest in the game to actually
yeah,
fucking play it.
true.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call it the most important factor,
No,
but
I
so
wouldn't
I'd
either.
just keep it at key player, honestly.
All right. So the next aspect I have here is the enemy AI. Like how tough an enemy can be. So like some
Mm.
examples I can think of is like Alien AI from Isolation because it's supposedly like infamously known to be like really smart as you like continue to play it. I don't know. That's what I've heard. I never got to try it out, but
Well, the more sentient the creatures are, the enemies are, the scarier the game is.
that's
Yeah.
that's how I feel too. Because like if you're just shooting at something that's like running at a wall, it kills like whole tension.
Yeah.
So I would say key player as well. I feel like that's pretty important because
Yeah.
you killing something that's like dumb as bricks, and it just takes you out the whole moment. And also like on a replay through or whatever, like you kind of like
That's like an action horror game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like dumb enemies.
yeah, like you get like the zombies or whatever that kind of just run into things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do we think it's as
Left for
important?
Dead.
Oh yeah. Do we think it's more important than the beginning or not as important?
No, I don't think it's as
Yeah.
important as the beginning.
Okay. Um, this next one I think is like world building slash environments. So I went with like a Bioshock picture because I think it's one of the best horror settings I've ever seen. Um,
Bioshock
it's
horror
not like
picture?
yeah, it's for like a generalization. I just went with that picture. So it's kind of like
Mm.
the world building, like how the world looks, like how important is world building to a horror game?
Very important.
I would.
If you don't believe the world you're playing in, then you don't believe the story.
That
Mm,
part.
Yeah.
I would say it's one of the most important factors because
I'd say it's probably more important than the beginning itself.
I agree with that.
Because the first thing you're gonna look at and how games usually start is with panning, like, in a scene, right? If
Yeah.
the scene is believable, but, say, like, the dialogue is cringe or whatever,
Oh
then
yeah.
it might save it, in terms of, like, the better of the 2, you know?
Hmm.
So I'd say environment's better than the beginning of the story.
So are we thinking top of key player or most important? Because there's going to be multiple ones that
Uh,
might end up here, at least in my opinion.
Keep it a key player
All right.
because sometimes with, like, older games, sure, it looks like garbage,
Hmm.
but, you have they're a good game.
I,
So,
I mean, I'd
it just
argue like
depends.
some of the older looking ones kind of leave more to the imagination, and I think some of
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
those,
that's a good point
I, f-
too.
I feel like some of those games are almost scarier than like the modern titles. Like,
It's also fun to think about if we're talking about older games.
hmm,
That was the shit back then.
oh yeah,
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
oh yeah,
So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little unfair to compare sometimes. I don't know,
It is,
but
Also,
but,
older
like
games came chock full of extra shit that would keep you
yeah,
oh
there
like
for
yeah,
I'm trying to think
months.
like I mean we
yeah.
got stuff like Castlevania, we got like some of the earlier Mortal Kombat's for like gory scariness. Um
Mm-mm.
are we going to talk about tutorials?
oh, I don't even have a picture for that.
Okay,
Mm.
I
because
should
I
have
have
I should have had one for that.
a comment or an opinion about tutorials.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
bitch.
go for it. Yeah.
So,
We can pretend it's there.
in older games or in some games, not even older, they can be current.
Mhm.
Um, God. In some games, they make you feel like a complete idiot, like you can't fucking figure out how to move, all this other shit.
Mhm.
They have to give
Yeah.
you like step by step by step by step. And I'm like, no, let me play the game. Show me through the game, through traversing through the environment with the character.
Mhm.
Environment.
Um, Let me figure it out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Oh,
teach me
Yeah.
absolutely.
through the gameplay. Like,
That's
I
like
don't need to
that's like
Put an
read.
Bloodborne.
put an
Yeah.
obstacle
You know what I
just but don't
mean?
like
Yes.
pop it up in her face. No, the worst thing is like when they constantly pop up a tutorial thing like every 5 seconds.
Yes. I
I like
hate
That's
it.
why they do in the first couple of seconds of Elden Ring is they have, like, pop-ups that are like, "If you sneak behind this enemy, this will happen,"
Uh-huh.
which is, like, useful information, but it just pops, 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 you know? But with,
Yeah.
like, Bloodborne, you
annoying.
have to walk past, like, a message, on the floor,
Mhm.
and if you read it, you get information. If you don't, well, good luck.
Yeah. You're gonna learn
And
from
You
it,
know?
right?
aren't
Like,
they like
yeah.
made from like other players and stuff, those notes or
Well, sometimes, sometimes not. So
okay.
sometimes you'll have, like, in the first area of the game, messages are there both from players and from the actual game itself, you know,
Yeah.
telling you what to do, but most people don't fucking read those, so they
No,
No.
they
don't get
really
the
don't.
information, and then they figure shit out, and that's
Yeah.
fine too. So, like,
Mhm.
having that option in Bloodborne in comparison to Elden Ring where it just pops up all the time
Oh yeah.
is better.
I agree.
Like,
Absolutely.
you can go the whole game
Yeah.
without learning some things and then be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" when you finally read the message.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just let me learn through play. And I
Mhm.
mean, if it's something that's super complicated and bears explaining, by all means. But it's at the same time, it's like I just don't like reading a whole bunch of text when I start the fucking game. Let
I
me
know.
just mess around with it.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
All right. The next one we have here is music. Like, how much does the musical composition impact the overall experience?
Mm.
This can also refer to if there's no music at all, like where it's dead and silence. That can apply to that too, because I think it's just as effective without music than it is with music.
Mhm.
I think music is very important for, like, any games.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, especially horror or like action or whatever. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, okay, Silent Hill is known for its story and psychological horror, right?
Yeah.
But majority of the people are like, "Yo, the music is fire."
I
Uh-huh.
can listen
Known for its
I can
music.
listen. Oh, Miles, thank you so much for the raid, by the way. I just saw that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, so sweet.
I really appreciate that. Um, but yes, I would definitely agree that it's an extremely important factor. I like
Mhm.
I mean, especially if it's like a good Silent Hill track like you mentioned or like a good Resi track.
Yeah.
One of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever heard was Nemesis's theme as he's just chasing you through Raccoon City on the original RE3. Like that shit,
Yeah.
it's like
Oh yeah.
cemented in your brain. Like if you have something that has like a good theme song, like the Mr. X or whatever in remake, like that's also really sick because like oh shit, he's coming. Like he's stomping, he's
Oh yeah.
got that really sick theme walking around the police station, like stuff like that. I feel like is really good. But I would also argue like games that don't have music. One that comes to mind, I believe, is Dead Space because I feel like a majority of that game didn't have very much music in
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Like a lot of it is kind of like very tense, it's
Very
isolating.
environmental, yeah.
It's like it plays off the environmental thing so well.
Mhm.
Like it has one of the best environments I've seen along with BioShock. Um and like I don't know, just music is just such a powerful thing. I would argue that music and sound, spoiler alert to one of the other ones, I think is like one of the most important factors. If you have good sound design, I feel like it trumps visuals in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like the sound, you hear something like that's gruesome and you don't say it, is half of the time is more terrifying than actually
Mhm.
witnessing it on a screen. So
Yeah.
I think that this goes up here. I think this is like one of the most important aspects to a horror experience.
Music.
Yeah.
The music and silence. This
This
is
is just
this is gonna be a dumb one. This is like collectibles. So like you find like the raccoons or whatever, bobbleheads or whatever in like Resident Evil. You find like files to learn more about the story. Like how important do you feel like collectibles are? I,
Mm,
I already know what I think
they're
of it.
not at all important and when you're first going through the game.
Mhm.
However, for replayability,
Mhm.
I feel they're pretty important.
Mhm.
You
J-
know, just to
Yes.
be like, okay, let's go have some fun. Let's go collect these bobbleheads and shoot them, and let's read
Yeah.
all these files if we want to, or just pick it up, whatever.
We want to learn
Like,
more about it. Yeah.
yeah, there's many options there, but
So
it's not important on the first run.
no, definitely not. Like half of the time, I just play through it just to play through it. Like I completely ignore the collectibles, especially if
Yeah.
I'm like going for trophy stuff. Like collectibles is like one of the most repetitive things ever. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, it's so annoying. Yo, Miles chilling in the chat.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was on the phone.
Yeah, but
um, I feel like I don't know, unless it really contributes to the story, I'll try to grab them.
mm,
But really, I don't. I just don't go out of my way for collectibles most of the time,
yeah,
unless it's a game that I really fucking love and I just
mm,
play over and over. Yeah.
Mm,
yeah, then that's
And then
different.
I want to like explore every crevice of that game,
Yeah.
and
So
then I'll do it.
are we feeling we can do
I
without
like
it,
collectibles
or
that
Ooh.
add
or
to
it
the
don't mean doo doo
story.
feces?
Yeah, that's good, Milas. But if they add to the story, it's
Yeah.
cool. But
Mm-hmm.
most of the time they don't, unless it's
Yeah,
a
Mhm.
so
file, which is
we can do
important
without
for
it.
Resident Evil games.
Yeah, like a lot of times, like especially with Resident Evil games, like there's always like one file or whatever that you go into like before a boss or something, and it kind of like reveals something before you actually see it. Like it kind of
Or
did.
it just tells you a story from fucking 3
Yeah.
games ago.
Hmm.
Right.
Like I'll never forget. Like I'll never forget like the ending of 7. I'm assuming everyone's played that here, right? That
Yeah.
everyone's played RE7.
Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I mean, let's play it.
Just making
I
sure.
think so.
want to make
Isn't it
sure.
on stream? Or is that 8? Don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've played it.
7's the one with the
Not
bakers.
8 yet.
Yeah,
Ah, there.
yeah. So
Yeah, the bakers.
I
yeah,
haven't played
so
the Vampire Lady.
yeah,
Bakers.
great game. I would totally recommend it. Um. Anyway, the ending of 7. Spoiler alert, of course. Right before you go and find.
Everyone dies.
I,
For
Damn.
real though.
I mean, you ain't wrong. Um. Before you go and fight Evelyn, there's literally like a photo on a table, and it basically like explains like exactly what she is and who she is. And
Hmm.
it's kind of like directly shown to you before you actually see the transformation and how that whole ending sequence starts. So in a sense, like I mean, if people like making those connections before they see the reveal, then I could see it as a positive. But I could see people being like, "Oh, well, this just got spoiled for me. Like now I know what she is."
Mhm.
If they're like really paying attention. So I feel like it's like a double-edged sword almost
Mm.
Yeah.
for stuff like that. Because it's happened to me in a
Resident
couple
Evil
games.
also likes to add random bullshit. Like
Yeah.
in 8, they added random bullshit of a
Mhm.
bitch being associated with a character 7 games ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, they really did
What
that.
is that?
That was
Just to
crazy.
like make it connected. It's like just make a different game. It doesn't all have to
Mhm.
be Resident Evil. You know what I mean? Like
Like
you don't
it
have
could
to throw in
be.
Chris or any of the other legacy characters. Like it could be its own thing and be called something different. But
Mhm.
I feel like they just be connecting shit because it's their most popular series.
Yeah, the most
So,
popular IP, definitely.
yeah.
So, as far as collectibles go, do we feel like it belongs and we can do without it, or it don't mean doo doo feces?
I'm neutral.
Neutral?
I think
Oh,
I'm neutral.
okay.
I'm neutral.
You're neutral. What are y'all feeling?
You don't have to necessarily do without it.
Mm,
Yeah, I agree.
all right, fair enough.
Miles was Miles like.
Um. Yeah, pretty neutral.
All right. We're gonna keep it there.
Like after I beat a game, I do like going back and looking for stuff if I enjoy the game.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah, I like Trophy Hunted.
yeah, definitely.
So it
Hmm.
is appreciated if it is there.
Yeah.
Um,
What's this?
this is actually the herbs. It was supposed to be all of them, but it only put in the red herb. It's supposed to be supposed to represent like resources or like how
Mm.
much
Oh, okay.
or resources or the lack of. Like some survival horror games like to play with the amount of items you're allowed to get in a game. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, especially if there's difficulty settings, you can make it so you get more shit. Other games, I mean, other levels or difficulties, you can make it so you get
Hmm.
less stuff. They get enemies hit harder, you get less healing items, less ammo.
Hold on one sec. I'm about to get some food.
E.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do
I
we?
I feel like I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, resources are 50-50. When you play, like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, you
Mm,
feel like you're locked and loaded, you got a lot of shit, and then you fight an enemy that takes all your ammo away, and you're like, well, fuck.
yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
it's that's a good feeling to have the resources there. But once you lose them all and then it starts getting thinner and thinner and thinner, you
Uh,
have the possibility of soft locking yourself. This can
Oh
mm,
happen in
yeah.
Dead Space.
yeah.
You save at a point where you think you're good, and then you end up fighting some bullshit. And on the way to fight the bullshit, you have absolutely nothing in
Oh
between that.
yeah.
So then you get soft locked because you keep getting, killed over and over again because you don't have enough of those resources.
Yep.
So I definitely think that there should be like, all right, there has to be something within the data or the system reading the game to be like, okay, this person saved here. We shouldn't have to go back 20 saves ago to just restart
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Like they should spawn shit in. you know,
As
like
needed.
gradually.
Like
Yeah,
even if you needed to backtrack or something and grab it, like I agree with that.
yeah, and a lot of games don't let you backtrack.
No,
You
they
know, once that
either
door shuts in the fucking ship or
yeah.
whatever the fuck, you know, it's like,
Mhm.
"Ah, you're fucked, you gotta go
Yeah.
back to your previous save."
hmm So
So I feel
I've
like it's
actually
kinda icky.
never had a problem with resource management until I started playing um Resident Evil 1 with I like
Uh,
immediately lost all my shit.
Oh, really?
Like I've never
Yeah,
struggled so much with resources in my life. And then
because you have to be careful.
the redheaded zombies ate up everything. I got a stupid knife at the beginning of it. I was furious. I'm just like, are you
Oh,
kidding
the
me?
Crimson Heads.
Yeah. Like
Timmy
I
boy.
literally
Mhm.
so like I literally ended up picking like a harder difficulty without even realizing it. Cuz I didn't
It
know.
Uh-uh.
says it on the thing.
Yeah.
Bitch, you think I
You have
can
to
It
read
read?
says
between the
it.
lines.
Well,
Yeah, it
no,
says Chris,
because
hard mode, bitch.
well, no, you know what I thought? Because there was another thing before it, and it said like, "Oh,
Oh, Lord.
what difficulty do you want? Hard, easy, or normal?" I'm just like, "Okay, I'll go for normal. I don't want it to be this hard." And then I go to Chris and I put myself in hard mode anyway. What the
Yeah,
hell?
because
Yeah,
he's the harder character. Oh,
his
Lord.
heart's harder.
What the
But
hell?
Crazy.
but when you pick them, it tells you, doesn't it?
I don't. I mean, it probably does, but like, I thought the difficulty was the hard mode.
First part.
I didn't think the fucking character was too.
Oh, yeah.
You have two
Oh.
difficulty settings. I didn't know that. But no,
Well,
that's
Mhm.
like the one instance I've ever struggled with resource management. I'm usually really good with that. Like I'll usually melee
Yeah.
stuff more so than shooting things, unless I really have to. But in this game, I'm just like,
Well, in that game, you have to
damn.
think about when you can run. You don't always have to kill everything. You're
hmm
gonna have
that's
to
true.
run sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I might be
sure.
at a point where I might be sloth walking myself, and that's gonna really get upset me. She's already so much further ahead of it than I am.
You
I
said
know.
sloth walking.
Soft locking.
It's soft locking.
Mm.
Yeah, because I have like no ammo, and I think like first phase of yawn is coming up. Whenever I do get a chance to do that again, but I'm just like, I ain't got nothing for yawn. Are you serious?
Mm.
I got shit for yawn. What
Well,
the fuck?
actually, you can knife only on.
Oh, you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You just gotta be real careful about it, cause he'll swipe you.
Mhm.
Hyper no swipe.
He'll get
That
you.
shit hurts.
Don't get
He'll get
Yeah.
you.
Um,
Mhm.
with that said, did everyone state their case for resource management? Like how important it is or unimportant it is?
I mean it.
Mm,
If we're talking about Resident Evil, yeah, it's really fucking important.
I mean,
We're
mhm.
just talking about horror games in general, like,
yeah, it's a more in general type of
mm,
thing. I mean, Resident Evil is just the first thing that comes
yeah,
into
it does
mind
make
for
things
me.
scarier because now you have to like
Be
pay
careful.
attention.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
You have to be strategic.
mm,
Yeah, cause when I was watching, Honey Bunny play the Silent Hill 2 remake, I was like, "Grr." Like,
Mm,
I knew how the game worked, right? And I know that she did too, but she also didn't, like, manage her stuff. Like, she was pumping through syringes. She had, like, 1 syringe
no.
left on her
uh-huh.
run or whatever, and I had, like, 20. I said, "I ain't fucking using these syringes. I will die before I use these syringes." And then,
uh,
lo and behold, the end of the game made me use a good chunk of them.
yeah,
So,
that fight
like, and shit
was
like
pretty
that,
tough. Yeah.
once you play enough games, you'll be like, "Alright, well,
Mhm.
I know I have to save shit, so."
Mm,
But, yeah, it's pretty important.
I would say key player. I
Yeah.
think.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Key
Um,
player.
do we think above? What are we thinking, like placement wise, on in this?
Mm,
Way above AI.
Yeah, because I think the beginning is still more important. I agree with that.
Yeah.
What else do we- Oh, this is supposed to be
uh,
like this is supposed to be horror tropes because it's. I think Ghostface was like baked in this scene. So like when you like experience like a horror trope, like someone being stupid, someone like let's split up, or like shit like that. Like
Yeah.
when I think of stuff like that, like I kind of think of like Until Dawn a little bit, because it kind of like makes fun of those tropes a bit while still having them in it.
Eh.
Um,
Okay.
Um, hmm.
I
Uh-huh.
mean, I don't know. Are they important? Like,
I think so. I'll
um,
just say because I know a good majority of the tropes and stuff from movies,
yeah.
games,
mm,
books, whatever. I honestly think that a game that does not use these tropes is far better than those that
Mm,
do.
mm,
Um, and you can be like Until Dawn and use them to your advantage and have fun, and
mm,
make something that gives kudos to that.
mm,
But, you know, I don't think it's really pulls
vital.
anything apart.
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mm,
like you're not like I just don't be original, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I'd rather
yeah.
have something that's like more unique than something that's just like I'm gonna be able to know that that's coming. You know?
Yeah. If you call everything, then it's not really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
So
that.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't think that they're needed.
so we can do either. We can do without
Like,
it.
hold on now, you gotta ask the other two now.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Well, y'all do that. I'll be BRB. I gotta feed the kid dogs.
Okay.
Right.
okay. I don't know. I don't think they're very vital to have. I agree with Twix.
Mm,
Just be original. Because
yeah,
then it makes it kind of feel like it's more predictable, and I don't want that. I want surprise to be an element.
I feel like it's kind of unavoidable though, no?
Mm,
Like falling into tropes. You're eventually gonna have to need a trope. There's gonna be a
yeah,
trope in
but
here.
like, do we have
I
do we
mean, it's
have to
kind of
have
like
it
how
though?
many of them can you avoid falling into, rather.
Mm,
Right, right.
Because
That's
I
the
mean,
okay.
the
question.
more shit that comes out, like the more tropes you're gonna eventually find
Listen,
yourself into. You know.
I don't mind a trope, as long as it's like done in a fun way. Honestly, I'm actually a fan of shitty horror, so I really wouldn't care either way.
Mm,
Mm,
I love a good shitty horror moment, even if they're looking in the mirror and I know they're gonna open it and close it again. I'm
yeah.
still just gonna jump anyway. So for me, I was like, I don't mind. I enjoy tropes. I enjoy those elements. But if it tricks me into thinking something is gonna happen and it doesn't happen and it gets me another way, like I'm here for that too.
Absolutely.
mhm.
So obviously, and that's gonna get a bigger reaction out of me because I wouldn't see that coming. But
Subverting expectations.
exactly.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I feel like you have something that kind of leans into it too much, it kind of loses substance. It kind of just becomes
Mm.
like a like a nothing burger, I guess.
Mm,
No, I don't know how else to say it. It just kind of becomes bland. It lacks creativity if it's just like fully relying on certain
Mhm.
tropes and certain characterizations. Like, oh, this one's the stoner, this one's the dumb blonde. Yeah,
right,
like
right.
shit like that. Because games fall into that too, I believe, on certain occasions. Sometimes they have like that kind of like and I'm just like, damn it, why is this here? Why?
Oh, they're having sex. They're dead.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
basically,
nope,
yep. They gone, they gone.
nope.
Um, are we thinking we can do without it, or it don't mean doo doo
God.
pieces?
I wouldn't say all that. I mean,
Neutral for me.
yeah,
All right,
I guess I'm neutral.
can do without it,
Mm,
but I don't know. I think Twix would probably be saying neutral too, maybe.
I feel like Twix said we could do without it.
Hmm. We'll have to wait until she comes back, but we'll start on the next one. S-
Okay.
stress factor. How much does it make you stress? Like, you're at a MO, just anything that like
Yes.
makes you really fucking stressed out.
Anytime I get into
Mhm.
a horror game, I'm already stressed.
Out the
My stress
gate.
level is high. Yes.
I think stress factor is really important because if you stroll through mansion or whatever, haunted hospital, whatever, and like nothing happens. There's like
Like,
no eagerness,
yeah.
no danger. Then there's no fear.
Mhm.
Or if they like make mechanics that kind of like it's like, oh well, if I move this way, then
Mm.
the liquor can't kill me. Like if I crouch and stab the shit out of it,
Oh yeah.
Right.
it
Mhm.
can't hit me. And it's like
But it's
ever since I learned that, like liquor,
mm.
I mean, like the liquors are like a joke. Like they're so easy. I felt bad because Mai was like struggling with them on her first playthrough of remake.
Oh.
She was struggling with them and like firing the firearms, and I'm just crouching down to just slice the shit out of
Oh.
them because I do that. Because I knew to do that. Um, but and I felt like in a way, if I told her that, then it would be taking away like that horror factor from her. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Like now, I mean, she'd probably be like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me in the first place?" It's because I wanted you to experience the game as intended, right?
Dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
What?
um, Twix is back.
Eh.
Um, we
Meow
have
meow meow.
so the previous one we have two that think that tropes are neutral. I thought that we could do without it. I didn't know how you felt about it.
Yo, fuck tropes.
We could
So what
do
did I say?
without it.
What did I
The
say?
Like,
original.
what did I say?
The
What did I
original.
say? So we can either put it at the
Made herself
lowest
very
part.
clear.
We can either put it at the lowest part of neutral, or we can put it at the top
Mm-hmm.
of that we could do without it for now.
Lowest.
Let's ask the council. Hey, Spay.
We already said how we feel neutral about it.
Yeah.
Me and Waifu.
Yeah, you and
Do
Vanilla.
you feel like movie tropes and like horror movie tropes need to be in a video game?
They don't need to be there.
It's like how you have a stupid bitch that always
Oh,
trips
I'm
on stuff.
dead.
Is that
Yeah.
needed?
No.
Is that necessary?
We can do without it.
Yeah, you can put it in the it don't mean doo doo feces.
Oh, oh.
I think you can.
Uh, uh,
It's just I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, it doesn't
yeah,
need to be
Dumb
there.
bitch runs up the stairs.
like I feel like
Dumb bitch
tropes.
tries to sat in the car and it doesn't work.
Mhm.
That part.
People.
That part.
God, I hate the bar one. Oh my god, it's in so many games. Oh
Or when they trip.
And when they try
yes,
using the phone, oh, the
the
phone
phone's
doesn't
out.
work. The line's been cut. Ah!
Let's
Or when
split
they
up.
leave they
Let's
hit somebody
split
with
up
a
and
weapon
look
and then
for
they throw it on the
clues.
ground.
I'm dead.
Right? That's what I'm saying, bitch.
I'm like,
Real.
girl, what
Or
the fuck?
let's some doo doo feces. We're keeping that there.
So now I'm hate watching the movie.
Right.
And then Twix. The next one that we're on is stress factor. How much like adrenaline pumping, like how tense a scene could be, or like running from Nemesis, running from
Oh,
Xenomorph.
that's a key player right there.
I would have to agree.
Exactly.
That's how you remember it. Like, that's a good, remembrance point for the game.
Would have
Mm.
to agree.
Because guess what? A lot of people remember Resi 3 because of Nemesis
Yeah.
always chasing you, and it's fucking
Hmm.
scary.
Like that's why I regard it like so highly, because I feel like I mean, as a game by itself, I don't think 3 is like one of the better ones in the series, but it's definitely carried by Nemesis. Like Nemesis carries that game on its whole back.
Motherfucker's
Mm.
name is in the title.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, Jill's pretty badass too, though.
Yeah, she
Come
is.
on.
Yeah,
She
Come
is.
on.
she carries the game
Yeah,
as
she does.
far as protagonists go. Yeah,
Hmm.
Hmm.
but like we remember it, yeah, because Jill's a
Because
badass.
of
And most people have a
Nemesis.
crush on her, but because of Nemesis. Meow meow
Like
meow.
there's a reason why Nemesis appears in so many
Meow
crossovers.
meow meow.
Like you see Nemesis in like Marvel versus Capcom actually had him in a couple games
Oh yeah.
as a playable
Hmm.
The
character,
Wesker
and
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Wesker as well as DBD. I don't know if there was anything else that he appeared in. I'm assuming
Probably.
maybe like a card game or something. I don't know, puzzles.
Probably, yeah.
Because like anything
Capcom likes
any
card games too.
like anything attached to the IP or anything like that is probably gonna have
Mm.
Nemesis or Wesker first as like an enemy
Hmm.
character. But
Yeah.
I would agree that it's definitely a key player. I don't know if it's more important than music per se, but
Like,
it's
it's like
definitely
when you walk up in Resi 4 for the first time and you go into the village and everyone's on your ass.
mhm.
Like, the first time playing that, it's like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah,
You
that
know?
scene was so memorable.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
then there
I
was
don't
like
know.
there was other recent Resi games that kind of like had scenes like that too that like helped really deliver on the even on the beginning aspect. It kind of goes with that too. It's kind of like combining those two together with the
Yeah.
crazy ass village scenes and stuff.
Or
It's
like the
wild.
fucking Souls games where, you walking up somewhere and then all of a sudden a fucking a health bar pops up and you're like, "Oh god."
Uh
Like, stress is important.
huh. Mhm.
Mhm.
All right. I think we're all in
That
agreement
me
with that
lies.
one.
Mm,
Did Miles
I
talk?
You
agree.
agree?
Sorry.
You
I'm sorry.
agree? Okay.
Yeah, if I'm ever cutting
Mm.
anyone off, please check me. Please check me
I,
if I ever
I'm
do.
also eating, so
All right, no problem.
it's all good. Don't apologize, B.
This one is like gross out factor, like how disgusting
Mm,
the part is, like body horror, like anything
I
that
don't
like.
need it to be disgusting to be freaked out.
Okay,
Like
we could do
okay,
without it, but for
it could be
me,
like like the idea behind something.
neutral for me.
mm-hmm.
So,
I do
alright.
like violence,
Let's
but it doesn't need to be there.
yeah. Yeah. I like stuff like, that has story
Ooh.
behind it.
Of course.
If it's gonna be grotesque in some regard, why is it like that? Like,
Right.
Mm.
when they added Lisa into, the Resi 1, whatever
Remake.
the fuck, remake,
Remake it.
and she was like, "Okay," people were like, "Oh, that's random," but when you look at the story of it,
Oh god, yeah.
So
it's
tragic.
worse than the fucking look of the character.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
and that just adds so much to it.
it does. Yeah.
Instead of having nasty things because, hey, why not? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to know the story behind it. Why does this
Mm,
look like this? You know?
mm,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it pairs well with story, I think it has a place. But I think if it's
Yeah.
like just unexplained or whatever, and it just is never told why, then it's kind of just there. I would say
Hmm.
neutral because there was I've played Darkwood before. I would totally recommend that one because it has such a good artistic direction on like how these monsters kind of come to be, and it's very much hinted throughout that these used to be like normal people before they
Hmm.
like
Mm.
got transformed by the forest. It's kind of like it's like a horror version of Hotline Miami. If y'all have ever played that,
Mm.
No.
it's like a top down with limited vision. It's some of the best sound design I've ever heard in my life, and it's a game that was scary for me without having jump scares. So I would totally recommend.
Oh god, jump scares. You don't need jump scares.
Oh, that one's gonna be coming up. I added that one. I did, in fact,
Unless
add it.
they're tasteful, that's fine, but don't
Mhm.
just one and done. You don't need to do it a million times.
Agreed.
Hmm.
um, so
Or
how do we feel about the gross out? Where do we want to put this?
um girl.
Um,
Um,
what is it again?
Like gross out, like how
Oh, yeah.
disgusting something is. Like,
neutral feeling towards it. We can do without it. It don't mean doo doo
And
feces.
I'd say neutral because there have been games with way less gore that have been
mhm.
mm,
great. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, like, I don't know, like the gross out factor for me, I often think of Dead Space as well, the necromorphs, and like
Yeah.
I'll never forget the beginning of the second one. If y'all know that scene I'm talking
Oh
about,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
God,
I don't
oh
know
my,
it.
it was so disgusting, but it was so fucking cool, so fucking cool. Um,
Viz.
Yeah, I have to look that up.
it's the I forget what it's called. It's the one that like pokes your head or whatever, and it kind of looks like a bat,
Oh,
Ew.
yeah.
and
I
it
think I've seen that.
and it's like he does that thing to the security guard.
Interesting.
It's disgusting. It's terrifying.
Interesting.
Did you see it or no? It's yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
I won't say anything else, but it's freaky.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna keep that in neutral. Do we feel like it's more important than collectibles? Before we move on.
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
All right. This one, I believe, is
Emotion.
Is it
nah.
art style?
It might be art style. Yeah. I'm trying to see what else I
Mm.
have. Yeah, I think that's art style.
Clowns.
Either that or it was either that or realism, because I know you said realism at one point when I asked you
Oh
what you thought
yeah.
about this topic. It might be realism because I kind of
Okay, we can
Possibly.
say it's realism.
The
Um,
more relatable it is, the more I feel like it's possible it could happen, and that scares me.
Yeah,
yeah,
You
that's
know?
scarier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why a
If
lot of people
uh,
like Scream so much because it's literally like it could be
yeah.
anybody. Like I feel like that's one of
I would
them.
put
Yeah.
that one at the top, right?
Oh yeah, all the way at the top.
Important factor. The most
Uh-huh.
important factor.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's important.
well, yep, I agree with
Because
that.
if I feel like, oh, this is too extraordinary, like no way this is ever gonna happen to me. Like
Like,
if I'm watching a
Smothering your
horror
wife
film,
and falling into a.
I want to feel like, oh shit, wow,
mm-hmm,
like
Mm,
this could happen.
yeah,
mm.
Like that's scary.
yeah.
That's scary.
Like that's why like cultish shit scares me because it's like
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
this has happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Any like
um,
cult documentary or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
like I don't know if y'all played Outlast 2. Like that was very much within
Mhm.
Oh
those
yeah.
themes, and that
I've
made
seen some of it.
that game pretty scary in my opinion
I'm like,
because it's kind of like
Outlast.
it's the
Outlast is fun, me lads. You
it's a
should play.
it's really good.
Oh,
I would recommend the first one more so than the second,
looks
but it's
really
it's
spooky.
Mm-hmm.
it's fun as hell.
It is. It's spooky.
It's one of
Girl, what
those.
the fuck?
It's one
Oh,
of
I have
those.
seen this.
It's one of those. What part? Outlast or
This is yeah, Outlast. This is where you
yeah,
have like
The
a
camera.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
nothing
Or a
else.
recorder.
and
Yeah.
you can't fight back or
Mm-mm.
anything.
I'd rather kill myself.
I mean,
Girl, what do you mean? Have a camera and
Girl,
nothing else. It's giving fatal frame. Like, girl, let me
yeah.
just die.
dude, I wish I could
Um,
play Fatal Frame. That game looks so good.
girl. Yeah, that's really scary.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I think is gonna be like way up there. Just
Climax.
the climax of the story. Like you're at the most intense part. Like near the end. Like shit's hitting the fan.
Definitely the most important factor for sure.
Yeah, it's gotta be good.
Like if you don't have a good climax, like the whole game's fucked.
Like,
Gotta make my heart
yeah,
drop.
yeah.
Hmm.
What do you think, Click?
I mean, it's gotta be good.
Yeah.
Like if you play the game and you feel like, wow, that
That
was
was a shit
ass,
Yeah,
then
climax,
like,
yeah.
yeah, you're never gonna go back to it. You're probably gonna block it out of your fucking memory.
You're gonna
yeah.
forget about it because it
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
leave an impression on you.
I do that
Yeah.
with Game of Thrones every day. I do that every
All
day.
right. Oh shit.
God,
Honestly, does Prince of Persia count as a horror game?
I'm not sure.
Mm,
I haven't played it before. I wouldn't know.
It is
mm.
kind of scary, but it's not really scary.
Hmm.
Sure,
Have y'all played that before?
I have not.
I've watched you play it.
Oh
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What is that? PS2?
I had it for GameCube.
Sands
Oh,
of Time?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
Uh,
technically a zombie game. But anyway, sorry. ADHD thought.
Oh, you're good. You're totally good. All right, so I think we're on agreement that it's at least in the most important factor, if not like number one, either that or realism.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
we're
feel
Is
like
there a number
realism.
one? Or
Number one.
because we're trying to do
yeah.
these in like in order of like this is more important this, then this is more important than that.
Ugh.
All right, moving on. The story. This is kind of like,
But it's gotta be a good story, ho.
mm,
Because
A
if it
good
ain't,
story
no.
hole.
Ugh.
I would say that's key player,
yeah.
if not most important factor.
Yeah.
Bitch, if the story is shit, like if you, ooh, bitch,
It's
if
like
you fucking, it's
I'm
like the
trying to
Final
think of a
Fantasy
horror.
VII remake, and it's like,
I'm
bruh,
trying to think
they
of a
botched
shit
the story.
story.
Oh,
A shit
Last
story,
of
but
Us
a good
2.
horror game.
Last of Us 2, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck that
Oh
game.
yeah.
Fuck that game raw.
hmm. Yeah, that game gets a lot of people don't like
I
it.
was actually um in the room with somebody who was working on that game, and they said it was like a shit show.
For real.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
believe it. I heard it. I
And
heard
they
a bunch
fired
of
all
them
of
were talking
them
about. Yep.
afterwards.
Oh
Yup.
shit.
Whoa. They all
Yup.
got fired.
Yup. They
Damn.
got yup.
Fuck
That's
that
wild.
fucking
After
game.
after
No
after
direct
not
limit
paying them.
bullshit.
Damn, they didn't
Oh
So you
pay
my
can
him?
blame the company for
god.
that.
What?
Yeah, not paying them enough.
Damn.
You know, they undervalue their developers and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a
Which is
shame.
Mhm.
why,
That's a
yeah, and
shame.
then rush them to meet deadlines that
Oh, that
they can't
sucks.
meet, which is why we get games now that AAA games or whatever the fuck they're called,
That aren't finished.
that are yes,
Hmm. Like
it's always fucking money.
Cyberpunk or whatever it's called. That game.
Yeah, but then
That
they
Girl,
game.
fixed that, or
Yeah, but it took them how
did
long to?
they?
How long
I
did it take them?
know,
Like four
I
or
Didn't
five
know,
years. Like
I
like
know.
didn't it
I
take
just made
them
that up.
like 2 years or something?
Well, I don't know how long it took, but I
Like
know that
way
came
too
out.
long. Way
Yeah.
too long
Like first
Way too
impression.
long to make what?
First
to
impression.
fix
Uh,
the 2049. What is it called? Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
game was in development for like maybe close to 10 years.
Yeah, but
And it still wasn't
it
done.
still wasn't finished when they released it.
Right.
They,
Right.
they like didn't they like issue people refunds or something? Like they did something, and they like apologized or whatever, like for how shitty it
Yeah,
was.
Mhm.
because it was just so glitchy.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if I were to try it now, I'd imagine it was
I
a lot
remember.
better. But
Possibly.
it's a shame that like I mean that first impression. I mean, the
I know.
beginning
They had
first
Keanu
impression.
Reeves over there on that stage.
Yeah, he was hyping the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
If your story is, I'll fucking go back to fucking Last of Us Part 2 because that game pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, so go ahead and
If
put that
your
on most
story
important factor.
has propaganda bullshit 25 years into the fucking zombie apocalypse, it's stupid.
Propaganda
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yes, propaganda bullshit, bitch. Like in 2013, they had the fucking game or whatever, and then Left Behind came out, and that was great. It didn't force gay shit down your throat, right?
Oh,
Ellie and homegirl fucking kissed, and that was cute, and that was it,
yeah.
right? And then
hmm
Bill's character, it was really subtle. He's gay. He mentions having a partner. He mentions
hmm
having, there's like a nudie magazine with dudes in it.
Mm,
Awesome. And then in part two, we have Ellie and Dina, which is sure, whatever. Ellie deserves a girlfriend, cool.
hmm
right, right.
And then they're like walking in the fuck in Seattle or wherever the fuck it is with a rainbow road with gay books everywhere. And
Oh.
then Ellie calls some old dude a bigot. It's like, bitch, you didn't know what the fucking ice cream truck was. Who's teaching you about this shit?
Yeah, literally.
Like, it's too much. And then they had
This
like,
is air.
I'm all
This is a
for
tree.
representation, but when
Wow,
it's forced, it's like, damn,
this
there's
is
no
what a tree
value
looked
there.
like.
That should not be advertised as a selling point for your game because I think that's what they did.
Is
They
that
Was it?
showed
was it?
a lot of that when they
Oh
were
yeah, in the beginning, yeah, her
their
kissing her girlfriend
previews.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It should not be it should not be used to advertise a game. Like that's not I don't think that's
And it
right.
wasn't like
hmm
that in the first game because you could choose whether or not you bought Left Behind. So you wouldn't even know Ellie's fucking gay.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you
You
got that
wouldn't even know
DLC.
Bill was if you weren't paying attention. Like it was so like not important
hmm
to their characters. And then
Mm.
it just blows up in Last of Us Part 2 and you have a woman that's built like a fucking like a whole ass man and it's like okay
She's straight as
where's
hell.
she getting this fucking protein, like why is she so big? She's a woman. We don't
Oh,
gain shit
well,
like
she's
that.
getting that because she's working for that military, and they're stealing everybody else's resources. So we know where she's getting
But that's fucked
her
up though,
MRE.
because none of the
Exactly,
other
and
bitches
that's why
look
we
like
don't.
that.
And guess what?
What?
I don't know. I was gonna say after that.
Yeah, and then I don't know. There's still there's only like one fucking there, there's only one fucking black dude, and he's the enemy, and he's like gigantic,
Oh
and you
yeah.
have to beat his ass at the end. It's like really, you know, like when we
It,
had the two brothers in the first game, like that was cool. They were
Yeah,
fun characters. And then we have to
Yeah.
have
they were
fucking
definitely one
we
of the
have to
more
watch
memorable
Abby get
portions of
fucked in the
that
ass.
game. That they were really
who got
memorable.
fucked in the ass?
Abby, the fucking
Oh yeah.
bodybuilder bitch.
When she bent
None of the
over.
other women looked like that. The only one that came close was fucking Queen of the Fireflies, which she was like
Well, she had
built like
trauma.
small though.
Yeah, she was lean and
Hmm.
muscular, but Abby
Yeah,
Yeah.
built like a fucking Ford truck.
which is so
Um,
stupid.
that was.
So
I
dumb.
think they were trying to say like that was like trauma from her getting her parent killed or whatever. So she was like, "Well, if I build all this muscle, like nobody gonna kill me or
But
whatever."
she didn't get her.
So dumb.
She didn't cause that.
She didn't cause what?
Her parent to
Her
go.
father getting killed?
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think. I don't
yeah, I
think she
know
did.
Well,
that.
she was mad because Joel killed her dad, and so
Hmm.
Yeah.
she wanted to kill Joel.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
And also,
So
I
she
think
was.
it's stupid that it's 25 plus years into the apocalypse, and Tommy's over here saying, "Oh yeah, this is my brother Joel. I'm Tommy," to new strangers that they just fucking met.
Yeah, that
Like that's
was.
stupid, and that's what gets Joel killed, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Him dying is fine, whatever. But like the way it was handled was just
That
so
was
I feel
stupid
awful.
like.
because
I
that's
Yeah.
feel
two
like it
that's 2 hours
was.
into the game.
I feel like it was like out of character for them to be like that too, because in the first one they were like very reserved. Like I feel like Last of Us One Joel wouldn't have done that.
Maybe they should have just
I
not
think
come
they
out with
became
another
too
game.
trusting. They
I
became too
think they came out
trusting of people, didn't
with
they? Because
such a
they were
perfect game.
constantly trying to like
Ugh,
save people
That's
and
what
bring
the
them to
that's what the
their
idea is, but like
yeah.
that's not Joel's way. Because Joel, when
right.
he was taking Ellie to go to the Fireflies, he's
No, I
driving the
know. He
truck,
was
and then there's
yes.
that guy there, and he
Yeah.
instantly doesn't fucking trust him. And yeah, he's an
Yes.
enemy. So it's like, why wouldn't you be cautious, bro? It's only been
Yeah.
5 years. Like you have not changed that much. You
Yeah.
had
Oh.
20 years to develop fucking trust
Yeah.
issues, brother. There ain't
Hmm.
no way 5 years gonna
Yeah.
patch that up.
No, definitely not.
I
Mhm.
wonder how they're gonna fix that in the HBO show, if they're going to.
I don't know. I fear
I
for
think they
that.
will.
I fear for that second season if they like go full on
They're
with
gonna
that.
work on it. They're gonna fucking work on it. They're gonna listen to people, and they're gonna change a bunch of shit. I bet you, because
They
there's no
already
fucking.
fucking
They
fucked
kind of
around with the
did, yeah.
story.
As they should. I think anything that they do to the story that changes it will probably be for the better. As long as it's different.
As
Oh,
long as
I
it's
really,
different in a good way. Um.
Or
literally,
different
I
in
mean,
a
I was about to
propaganda
say,
way.
right, I was like, how could you make that story any worse? Like, kill Ellie?
I don't know.
Like,
Bella
kill
Ramsey
them
is
both.
fucking oof. I can't.
Oh, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, I
But
can't with that.
Mm.
Oh my
um,
god.
uh, what's the next one? Oh wait, did we
Uh,
even finish out
I
where we
don't.
put
I
this
don't even.
one?
Yeah, I don't even know if we
mhm.
finished. We just got into Last of Us 2 rant.
Last of
We
Us
said we
controversy.
said whatever we're on now is not as important as collectibles.
I mean,
Mm.
I mean,
Right?
with how much emotion it's invoking, I feel like it is pretty damn important.
What
Well,
is?
sure.
What are we
Because
on?
Story,
the story,
story.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. No, yeah.
I
No,
think this
I
goes.
thought we were on the previous one.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
no,
no, no.
that's the most important factor, bitch. Because if your story is fucked up, if you decide to fuck around with the previous story, and you
Mm,
ruin that
Here's a
shit, like
question.
that's
Here's a
yeah,
awful.
question.
What?
yeah. Go for it.
If you
Uh-oh.
have a badass story but shit gameplay, are you gonna still enjoy that fucking game?
Yes.
Oh,
A
guess
badass
what?
story,
Guess
but
what I
good
have here,
gameplay.
Vanilla.
No.
Guess what I have
Gameplay.
right. Guess what I have right here. Perfectly goes right into the next one. But the story is its own entity. Has nothing to do with gameplay. If we love the story, we love the story, right?
Bro,
Well, that's
stories nowadays aren't as good as they were. Nowadays, we're worried about pushing the game out. We're worried about graphics and we're worried about numbers. We don't give a fuck about the fucking story.
No.
Back in
Right.
the day, motherfucker,
Oh,
the people that created Silent Hill, Team Silent, group of like fucking what, 8 people? They were
Yeah.
like, all right, we're gonna bust out this shit. We're gonna fucking have an amazing story. Okay, tank controls. I don't like tank controls.
I hate
But
tank
the
controls
story is
so
like
much.
the story just takes the cake when it comes to that shit. Like the sound
yeah.
design, the music, the story, the characters, the world building. It's all
Mm.
great.
The tank
The
controls
gameplay is whatever, it's a bit awkward, clunky,
leaves a bit to be
but like
desired.
yeah, but it's still an amazing game and a lot of people go out of their way to buy it and that's why they're so fucking
Yeah.
expensive.
Even what's that one game with that girl and she got a dog and she trapped in a castle and you wake up in a
Oh, Haunting
castle?
Ground?
Yeah, Hunting Ground.
Yes.
Oh
That
yeah.
one, the gameplay is like
I love that game.
interesting, but the story is really, really meaty.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh, we have to have it be open world because, we
And
don't
I'm
have
like,
much
do
of a
we?
story.
Do
Like,
we?
that's what they did with the fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or whatever the
Is
Oh,
fuck.
that oh
They
that
expanded
is
the
that what they
world
did?
20 times its original size because the story itself is fucked because then it turns into the goddamn Avengers multiverse. And
girl, what?
like they completely fucked that original game. The first part of the remake, pretty good, pretty fun, bit
Yeah.
weird. But like the
I like
second
that one.
part, bitch, Zack's back, but he's in an alternate dimension and he's fighting Sephiroth and we're fighting Sephiroth.
Girl.
It's
Oh my
stupid.
god.
It's dumb. It's
Yeah,
dumb.
I was gonna
They don't
say
give a
like that
fuck about
near
story anymore.
a lot of people weren't like I was wondering why like it kind of like fell off. A lot of people weren't talking about it near as much as the first one.
I
So
don't fucking
so,
know.
so is it like a sequel or is it like a prequel? Like I haven't played it yet because I don't have the system.
It's just a remake of the original Final Fantasy VII. So,
So it takes place at the same time or after that battle with you know who with Sephiroth, but
well, it's just the remake. But they're making the remake bigger than the original game.
oh okay,
Like
You know
they
what I mean?
added to it.
They added bullshit to it, basically.
I see.
They said they saw Elden Ring and the success of Elden Ring and the open world and side shit, whatever, which, has always been a thing for Final Fantasy VII. But it was just so popular that they were like, all right, we gotta make it bigger. So they like
Mm,
added just unnecessary bullshit. Like, oh, guess what? If you want to get to this new area, you have to play a card game. But in order to play the card game and to beat this character in the card game, you got to go back and get all these other cards so you have a better deck
Oh
so you can
lord.
beat the character with the cards. Because if you don't do that, then you don't move on to the next bit of the story. And it's like, holy shit, bro.
It's holding it hostage.
Yes, it holds you fucking hostage. It's so stupid.
that sounds like it sucks.
Fucking hate that. I dropped that shit. And I hardly drop games. I
No,
usually
she
go through
never
the game,
does.
but holy fuck, I dropped that game so fucking quick, bitch. Like
Mm,
we all got locked up at this fucking like scrapyard and shit, and they're talking about, well, if you want to escape the scrapyard, you're gonna have to go in a chocobo race. And that's where they
I'm
introduced
dead.
chocobo races. But guess what? You can't go in the chocobo race because that motherfucker's hungry. But guess what, bitch? You're on the fucking desert and there ain't no fucking grass. So you gotta go get some fucking grass from a motherfucker that has playing cards. So you gotta beat him. You gotta beat a few people in the playing card game, and then you gotta go and you gotta kill a few things for this guy. And it's like, holy shit! Just let me fucking through the game.
yeah,
It's so stupid.
I would just give up.
at that point,
There's
yeah.
That's
no way I gotta
awful,
fucking play
yeah.
card games for some fuck ass chocobo. Like,
A chocobo.
fuck that fucking game. I don't know if I hate it more than The Last of Us Part 2, honestly. But like it's fucking up there.
Mm.
It's fucking up there.
And that's a shame too, because I really liked the remake of Part One. I thought that game was like really
Yeah.
fun.
And the
It was so
characters are
fun.
fun and yeah, it's
Mechanically, it was
awesome. But
fun,
holy
and
fuck.
like I know it deviated from the original a little bit, but the battles and stuff that like were from like the original, like were I felt like were given justice. Like that fucking. I mean, you've all played it, right? I'm assuming all played it. Know about it, obviously. I don't know if Miles did or
Oh
not.
yeah.
Which game?
I'm
Remake Part One. for Final Fantasy
I
7.
don't really play Final Fantasy games,
Nope.
but I know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that fucking
I know the
fight.
bitch dies. Cloud
But
is in
guess
love
what?
with
She
her.
doesn't fucking die.
That bitch.
Oh, they
They
didn't kill her
change.
in this
It's a
one?
multiverse story, bitch. Yes, they have like Dementor-looking motherfuckers that are like protectors of the timeline. Yeah,
Girl,
and so they
this
fly
Mortal
around Aerith,
Kombat
and Aerith
11,
is the only
girl.
one that can fucking see them until later in the game when Cloud can fucking see them. And it's like, we're protecting you because you're supposed to die later, but actually you don't fucking die. And now we're in part 2 of the game, and then you fucking die. It's like, what?
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
your boyfriend's alive somehow, but he's not actually because
She's got a
we
boyfriend.
saw Zack carrying Cloud, but Cloud's in
What?
Zack's uniform and has Zack's sword, but Zack also has his sword. It's so fucking stupid, and it's not even in the same universe. Like what?
Interesting.
So why should you care?
Yeah.
I smell cash
Yeah.
afoot.
I smell it's the
I smell a
motherfucker that
cash
did Kingdom
grab.
Hearts and doesn't know how the fuck to tell a story.
Oh,
Like, that's
Dang,
what happened. No
man.
offense,
Um,
Shishi.
Kingdom
But
Hearts.
holy fucking shit.
yeah.
Holy fucking shit. That motherfucker can't tell the fucking stories. Oh my
Uh,
god.
Is somebody from Kingdom Hearts trying to tell a story?
is that true? I mean,
Yeah.
I know
I don't
Square
fucking
Enix
know.
They
made it,
had one
right?
of the guys came on that come on to do the
Oh,
project that did Kingdom Hearts. Forget what the guy's name is, but
he on there. He out there.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? I want some cookies. Hold on.
Oh,
Anyways, we should move on to the next.
Well,
yeah, we should.
Wait,
so
did we finish this one?
we never rated gameplay.
Gameplay is not that important.
Okay.
I don't know.
Bitch, you coming from a generation of tank
just
controls,
saw.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I
Them
was gonna
fucking
say.
controls is nasty as shit.
I feel
Turn
neutral.
taking in the goddamn Final Fantasy VII, fuck that shit.
I feel like it's neutral
Yeah.
because I feel like if it's just absolutely garbage, the gameplay, then it kind of ruins it. But if it's not
If it's
gonna be
like
great,
Ghost Head, if it's like Clock Tower's Ghost Head,
Say I would bump it up
then
to a key
yeah.
player because if it's unplayable,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
don't.
key player's fine, yeah.
It can't be unbearable, y'all.
yeah.
okay, I'll put it
I
here.
mean, neutral's fine, but like,
It's either
oh,
top of neutral or bottom of key
like
player.
I'm trying
Well,
to
what'd
think of
you
like
say
how
about
I would
this
get to
issue?
getting a.
What
Huh?
about Rule of Rose? Gameplay's
Oh, that
ass,
shit was
right?
fucking ass, but so is the story.
Oh,
It's awful.
oh,
Yeah, so you
That
got a
shit is
shit ass
fucking
game
bad.
like that. It's
but
like,
don't you have
bruh.
fucking magic or something in there?
And
Ain't you got
Rule of
like
Rose?
Ain't you got telekinesis?
Telekinesis.
Yeah, bitch. Ain't she
No.
got magical powers, bitch? Am I
What?
looking
Why
at
is Art the Clown on here? What's going on?
In Rule
It's
of
supposed to.
Rose?
Comedy?
It's supposed
Ain't
to
that
be
the
it's
white
supposed
man's
to be
daughter?
humor. This next one's
What?
humor
Comedy, yeah.
Oh, I'm
because
thinking of something else.
You
was
saying something else, Kurt?
this was
Oh, I'm thinking of
the scene of Art when they're at the Halloween store.
Ethan's
Oh
daughter.
yeah, no, it's in part 2 when Sienna's at the Halloween store and he's fucking around with her and she's trying to
Resident
avoid him, but
Evil.
then it zooms into him doing
No,
silly shit.
Ethan's
Right?
daughter.
Hmm.
Her side quest.
Rose. Yeah, Resident Evil.
Her name's Rose too, right? Or am I fucking tripping?
Wait, what?
We're
What
talking
are you
about a game.
talking about?
We're talking about a
I'm
game
talking.
called
No, I
Rule of
know.
We're
I
having
know
like
that's
two separate
PlayStation 2. I'm
conversations.
talking about Ethan for Resident Evil. His daughter had a spin-off game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
the
DLC.
DLC.
telekinetic bitch.
What's the name of that game?
Fuck ass Rose? I don't know.
Fuck ass Rose.
I
Anyway,
actually
that's what I
never
was
got.
talking about. That's why
That's
I was
like the one
confused.
thing I never got to play
The
was
Lost,
that
yo.
Shadows
was
of
that
Rose, I think.
Yeah,
Something
Shadow
like
of
that.
Rose.
that was the one
Yeah.
thing I never got to try was that Rose storyline. Like I played
Oh,
everything
It's
else
fucking,
in
cute.
I don't
8.
think it matters.
Yeah.
We said it's cute, so you've played it.
Yeah, it's fun for what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
okay then, bitch.
Does it give you a lot of answers to your fucking questions? Fuck
No.
no.
And when does Capcom ever do that? Ever.
They give answers 4 games later.
Right,
Holy
when they figure
shit.
them out.
When they decide, you know what? We can
Right.
try to make this make sense.
Yeah,
Fuck
we can
you.
wrap this up. Right.
We can wrap
Capcom
this
is
up.
There ain't
so
no way this fucking century-old bitch is fucking homeboys with goddamn Spencer fuck.
Yeah, that's
Like, there ain't
crazy.
no fucking way.
The fact they
you
just
said Spencer
look,
fuck.
they just slapped that in there at the end, literally, with a bunch of stuff to read. You
Yeah.
had to find it in a file.
I noticed you put that clown on there.
And a picture.
Yeah, it's supposed to keep
Yes.
humor for the next one because a lot of the scenes from the Terrifier movies are actually really fucking funny. It was
Neutral.
neutral. Okay.
Yeah, I think because a game, if the game is super tense, I don't want to be stressed the whole fucking time. I need a time to fucking breathe. But
Yeah.
if I am stressed the whole fucking time, okay. But like having a moment to like break that tension actually is like so nice sometimes.
Mm,
Like in Silent Hill, you know, you tense all the time. It's so fucking quiet all the time until it's not. And then you know, you'll get like a cutscene so you can like breathe for a minute, and then like Ethan will be like sassy and like roll his eyes
may
at
as well bring this one
Maria
up
or
too
whatever.
because this kind of like
What the
goes
fuck?
this kind of goes
Miles's
into that
brain
same.
is crooked.
What?
Said Ethan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lord.
sorry.
So this is I guess these kind of like go
I
together.
Ain't
see
they
what
the
you
This
mean,
same?
is
though.
this is
Might as well be shit.
this is
Yes.
specifically like the moments of calm. So kind of
Yeah,
like the
breaking
save
them.
rooms and stuff like that. And then
For me,
this is like comedy humor
Wait,
that
I
kind of.
thought we
that's the
were
key
still talking
player.
about comedy humor.
We
Well,
are.
no, because it kind of like went into the other topics. I figured I'd bring it up as well.
Oh, we're not ready for that.
We're not ready. We're
not ready,
still.
bitch.
Yeah.
Well, Miles started
Okay.
talking
Comedy.
about it. She
I
was
think
like,
it's
"Oh,
fun. You know, when
Just
the
leave it up.
funny guy dies or whatever. I think we also have
ooh,
really iconic characters like
Yeah.
Carlos, like Luis,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those
When
are
the funny
cool
guy
yeah,
dies,
characters.
like
that's when you know
Heisenberg."
like, oh, this is bad and it just got worse because you know like
Yeah,
you're
Yeah,
not gonna get a break. You know,
mm.
yeah.
the laughter and the
Everyone
joking is like
dies, bitch.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when the comedic person dies, you
It's
kind
not
of
a
like
key
lose.
player, I don't think, but it is,
No.
fun.
I think it is
Yeah.
fun.
Not bad. Yeah.
I think it's a good. I think it's in the middle of neutral or
Guys, I'll
low.
be back.
Yeah.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay,
We can keep going though.
okay.
Okay, what's next?
This is moments of calm.
Save room.
So like moments of calm, which was what Miles was kind of like getting into a little bit. Like
Yeah.
if you're like stressed out all the time, and then you like need that moment to like press and like chill out.
Yeah. Decompress.
I
Open
think
the
those
bowels
moments
and
are
jet.
needed. I think that Resident Evil did a pretty solid job
I think so too.
at creating those moments.
Yeah.
But also it's like it was kind of funny, like you guys played the Resident 2 remake.
Oh yeah,
Like
Yeah.
being like, "Oh shit, Mr. X is on my dick. Let me hop in the save room
yeah, because he can't
and
get it.
chill a minute."
Yeah, because he can't kill you.
Like that shit's funny,
It is pretty
you
funny.
know?
And he looking at you
I don't know.
too, like, oh god, damn it, I can't get you.
Resident
Right.
Evil killed it though because they had the music too.
Mm-hmm.
And the music would calm me down. Like it was great.
Like I listen to those save themes all the time when I'm just like trying to de-stress. Like if I'm just chilling
Yeah.
in bed or whatever, I either have Forest playing or a save room theme or like any
Uh,
horror lo-fi's I can find, and
Mm.
I'll just be chilling. Like
Ugh.
if you ever watch the VODs for the Pokemon pinball video that I do that has the music playing, like that's literally what I listen to when I'm just like trying to calm down. Like I'm stressed out.
Mm.
I just want to keep myself calm, and I'm gonna just throw on Forest and all those horror lo-fi. It's so good.
How many things are left?
What's that?
How many things are left
How
to
many
pick from?
tabs? Um, we getting there. I think we're about like
Okay. Because I'm like tired.
yeah. We can try to speed run them a bit. Moments of
Okay.
calm. What do we think? I don't think it's like the most
Um,
important thing in the
I
world.
don't think it's key because a lot of games don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like bottom of this.
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
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 Hell yeah, key motherfucking player, bitch.
You think cutscenes are important?
Hell fucking yeah. Give me a fucking cutscene, bitch.
The
Huh?
cutscenes are good because it gives you that moment of relief, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it gives you more information. You can really pay attention to things where, when you're not running away from shit. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think that's definitely appreciated. You get more character,
Development.
information.
I was
Yeah,
about to
you get
say,
all that good shit.
even Bloodborne has cutscenes, like when you get to certain important parts, even though they might be
Yeah.
fucking short as shit and
And no
unprompted.
one says anything,
Right.
rarely. Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yo.
when you walk into Odin Chapel for the first time, it's
That
literally
shit.
you open the door, a cutscene of you walking in, a small pan, and that's it. And then boom, new area discovered. Like,
Yo, what's good, demo?
that was
Welcome in,
cool.
buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Oh well, it's demo.
It's demo.
Wow.
They vibing in chat.
Anyways, yeah. But yeah, like cutscenes are important, even if they are small.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Gives you a
My
second to chill.
my only rebuttal is like the entire thing of like Resident Evil 3 remake, and I know it's like one game in particular, but like it was like one of the few times where like cutscenes kind of like killed it for me a little bit.
Mm.
Like I don't know. This is like he like transforms into the fucking dog thing, and then like instead of like actually fighting the monster, like it was a fucking cutscene until like the instances you do see him.
Are you talking
Meanwhile,
about the remake or original?
remake, and he turns in that
Oh
fucking
yeah, no, your opinions are completely fine on that game because that game's ass.
it's a
They
shame
didn't give a
too.
fuck about that fucking remake. That's
They
one of their most
didn't.
popular games, and they didn't give a fuck about it.
That's what
Mm.
pisses me off, man. Because all the other ones were so good, and it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like it needed to
Nemesis
be.
was scripted that entire game.
That's what pisses me off. Why would you make him scripted? Like, give him the same
Yeah,
presence of fucking Mr. X. You did it in 2. All you had to do was just make
yeah,
the fucker run. That's all you needed to do. Give him a, give him the weapons. Like, the weapons could be the scripted parts. I don't care. But like, or switch it up. Like, make him have a flamethrower one part in one random encounter, and then give him the rocket launcher in another. Like that would keep it good and scary. The fact that like
yeah,
every fucking part was so scripted, and then the only part that felt like 3 was the beginning city portion. That was the scariest part of the whole game. Once he turned into that fucking dog piece of shit, I didn't care anymore. Like it lost all fear factor for me because I knew the moment I saw him turn into that dog, I'm just like, oh, this monster is going to be too big for them to program to run after us like throughout the entire city, and I was right. And
yeah.
that's what fucking pissed me off about that game.
Yeah, that game's annoying in general. I like the new Jill, and I like the voice actress. She's cool.
I thought Carlos
Um,
was great too in that game.
like I don't know, that game was just it's like
Pisses me.
6 hours. You're paid full money for it, but it said, oh, it also comes with this side game, and it's like, bitch, this is a $30 remake, but
Mm,
it's $60 because of this shit ass edition. Like,
yeah,
fuck you. This is a bundle. Like,
yeah.
sell the shit separately, and the shit fucking failed too. So
It's a shame because I actually used to like playing Resistance. That was fun until they like completely fucked the balancing of it. But
mm,
that's like a whole other. That's like an opinion based thing. It's not like
they
factual.
just they need to get the people that did Operation Raccoon City. Bring that shit back. That shit was fun. Like that was in
Mm,
like 2012. So if you didn't play it, then that's fine.
yeah,
But like
I
that
haven't.
game was
I
fun as
didn't
fuck,
get
bitch.
to at
You'd
that
run
point.
around as Hunk, Ada, Nikolai, Carlos, bitch. You'd run around as everybody and kill each other and shoot each other while the zombies are attacking you, and it's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
But like they don't. That's just awful. They keep trying to make side games, and they're just ass. It's
I
like, bruh.
know. I think
Holy shit.
cutscenes might be top of key player. I don't know how y'all think about that. If it deserves to be higher
Mm.
or lower.
I think it's a key player too because well, if the whole game is a fucking cutscene, that's annoying as shit.
It is, yeah. And
Realize what you
that's
think.
exactly what happened with the Resident Evil 3 remake. It was exactly like that.
Yep.
We talking about gameplay?
Talking about
Cutscenes.
cutscenes.
Things.
Yes, I think. they're definitely key players. I love exposition. I know people don't like it, but for me, I'm like, ooh, I get my popcorn. I can put the controller down and flex my fingers
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit
makes
and
sense.
like
Yeah.
really get to dig into the story. And also, like, if I like the characters, I get to like see them interact. If there's more than one, see them interact with each other or like the environment. And sometimes those cutscenes, even if they don't say anything, they can tell you a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
All right, next
Glorious
one.
Um,
scenes in cinema.
So gore. How do we?
Neutral, I guess.
What do we feel about gore in horror game?
I would feel the same way about like the disgust factor.
You think?
Personally, I
yeah.
love gore. I don't
I
need
do
it,
too.
but I love it. Like, I don't know.
Um, big fan of gore.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's done,
In a classy
I don't
way.
know, like classy way, sure. I mean, the Terrifier movies are fun. You
They
know,
are.
they don't really feel like gore porn because
Yeah.
there are certain things that are very gore porn. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
You don't think
I don't
Terrifier
know,
is gore porn?
Terrifier is funny.
It is
You know what I'm
funny.
saying? And
It
Yeah.
because
doesn't
he's
feel
funny,
like
it kind of
horny.
carries that. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel horn dog. It's just like kill motherfuckers because kill a motherfucker. Like it's
Yeah.
fun. He's like, yeah, you know.
Like that was like the one series ever that was just like, holy fuck.
I was literally
Yes.
cackling in a theater and like screaming at the
Oh,
top of my lungs.
I never got to see
Right? That's just
never
so funny.
I never got to see
Did you see the third
3. Oh,
one?
no, and I want
I
to.
Ooh,
think it's
well,
streaming now.
yeah, let me shut my ass up.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Terrifier
It's
3 is
I
so fun, dude.
I don't want to get spoiled to it, but I have seen the first two. But
Yeah.
that one kill in 2, dude. If y'all know it,
Yeah.
Yup.
if y'all know it, you know it. But that fucking
That
kill was
scene is
so
so stupid.
I forgot about it.
God Almighty.
It's one of her friends gets completely butchered in her bedroom and then he pours salt and
Yes, I
bleach on her.
remember.
And
He
Bleach
And somehow she's
literally,
still
and
alive and her
and
mom
right.
comes
Bleach.
home. It's like,
God
hello? Like that shit's so fucking
He literally
funny.
comes in there and just chops her ass up like
Almighty.
sushi. That
They
was
do
funny.
top that scene in 3 though.
They
That's what
absolutely do.
that's what I've heard. And I'm terrified.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I was like, uh, Bella and Vanilla were in the theater with me, and Vanilla was closing her eyes. She was like, "Nah, I can't see this," and then Bella was like, and I was just fucking laughing because I was like, "That's so fucking stupid."
I probably would have been laughing too if I
It's
saw it.
great.
I just would have been like, holy shit.
I fucking love that scene. And then
Jesus.
yeah, there's other fun shit that happens in that scene, but
I'm looking forward to the
that's
day
that's
that it
just fun.
yeah. I think it's a fun
It's not gore
factor.
porn. It's not like Rob Zombie where he has to have some bitch get raped in every one of his movies.
Hello.
Like that's so
Yeah.
Hello.
stupid and adds
His
nothing to the
movies,
story.
Rob Zombie's movies left me like deeply disturbed. Like deeply disturbed. And I probably because I was young, but like
Mm.
literally every single movie that I watched from him had like a girl in it. Also, like I don't think anybody lives in his movies, if I remember correctly. Like, wasn't one of his movies The Hills Have Eyes, or am I making that up?
I actually never saw a Rob Zombie movie. Like I
Let me
never.
check.
Well, you're not missing out on much.
All right, fair enough.
No.
It's just really just like traumatic.
Yeah, because if it's like just killing people just for the sake of
Wes
killing
Craven
people.
was on Hills Have Eyes. Not
Oh,
Bobby.
okay. Hills Have Eyes was I, but that one was also like really like
Yeah, but if you
Yeah,
have
I
to
didn't
have
like
that
that
shit in
one.
all your fucking movies just because you can, like that's stupid. It adds
Yeah.
nothing to the story. And while
Mm.
I don't particularly get disturbed by that stuff, I can tell like, you want to put this in here because you think you're an edgy rocker dude. Like, it's
mm,
stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm,
when you have
I
like
know.
David Leone and all of them, like having fun. Basically, Terrifier is a hack and slash video game. Like he's going
Yeah.
through people like it's nothing, and it's fun, and you get to see how the makeup is used and the effects are used, and it's great to see that stuff, you know. And it's
Mm-hmm.
fun to appreciate it, and maybe be grossed out here and there, you know, for certain people. But if it's done fucking like Rob Zombie does, it's just so stupid. That's so fucking dumb.
Let's see. Lords of Salem. What was the Rob Zombie movie where I saw that fucking clown? House of a Thousand Corpses. That was the movie that was like shook me to my core. I
Uh,
shouldn't have watched it. And The Devil's
Oh.
Rejects. I shouldn't have
Oh.
watched it like how old I was. That movie came
yeah,
out in
I hate his
2003.
fucking movies.
Mm.
He got his hands on what did he do?
He
The
did Halloween,
Monsters.
right?
Halloween.
Right?
Halloween
He
and the
Yeah.
did. I haven't
Monsters.
seen
Yeah.
that yet. Halloween was dumb. Just dumb. Oh, let me make. He basically made Michael into Jason. He
Love
got a
it.
huge
Aw.
fucking dude to be Michael, and yeah, he was a killing machine, and probably if we're not talking about the Thorn timeline, which is like a
Mm,
cult curse on Michael that made him like
mm,
strong and stuff. If we're not talking about that, then he'd be like the strongest Michael, but like that adds
Mhm.
nothing to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Literally adds fuck all. So his movies are just kind of pointless in my opinion.
Mm.
mm.
And edgy for no reason.
So how do we feel about like where gore would be within this list? Just curious.
Um, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
If we're
it's
neutral
above
towards all those things, I feel like they're
maybe
all on the
it's
same
above collectibles.
wavelength.
Because we like seeing the transformation of stuff, like the bioweapons in Resident Evil,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm.
like zombies, in other games or
Mhm.
whatever, or monsters in Bloodborne or the Souls games. Like,
So
we
would
love
that
seeing that stuff,
so
so it'd
would
be higher than the collectibles for me.
Mm.
for gore?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
so but it's not a key player.
I don't think so either. I think
Mm.
things can be scary without it.
Yeah.
I think this one's kind of like more broad and generalized, but it's just fear factor, like how scary it is. It's just the simple fact of how scary a game is. How important is that? Like, if something doesn't scare you, like, does it
Oh.
lose any meaning? Like, is it still a horror game in your
Oh.
eyes, or what? It's kind of like a very broad.
Um. It is. It's hard. I think it's too broad.
Fear factor.
Yeah. Like if a game like can personally make you terrified of it,
Um,
because everyone's afraid of different things. So like,
that's true. That's
what's
true.
terrifying to me is probably not going to be terrifying to
Terrifying to another person, but
exactly.
I don't know. I find all this shit scary. I find a
Mhm.
bunch of different kinds of shit scary.
I feel
I
like
would
there's
say it's
not. I
either
feel like
key
there isn't much
player
that would
or
scare
import
Twix. Loki.
factor.
Like,
Yeah,
Well,
I'll say my piece when y'all are done.
okay. Um, well, yeah, I would like to be scared. Normally, when I'm playing a horror game, I'm playing it to be scared. So if it's not scary, I
Right.
don't want to. I'm
yeah,
like,
So it's not accomplishing what it's
so
supposed to
yeah, I
do.
feel
yeah.
like
It's its
I
whole
feel like it's a,
purpose is to be
it's a key
scary.
player
Uh-huh.
or an important factor.
I think it's an important factor.
Like, here's an example I think of. I think of Resident Evil 6. A lot of
Oh yeah,
people shit on that game because they're like, "Oh, it's Resident Evil. It's supposed to be horror." No, bitch. It's an action game.
yeah.
Like, it's a good fucking action, fun ass game. It is not. There are horror elements to it,
That was about to
but it's
say.
not a horror game in my eye. Like,
Yeah.
it's more action oriented, and it does well that way. But some
Even
people don't
action
like it
horror
because of
games
that.
at the same time can be scary, like Left 4 Dead, because some of
Yeah.
those the villains or the enemies can like run up on you and surround you and crowd you.
Mhm.
So if you're scared of big crowds, like that could
Hmm.
literally be like
Mhm.
a fear factor kind of thing. I mean, honestly, and who wouldn't be scared to get run up on? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like you
Yeah.
hear footsteps coming and you can't see where the footsteps are coming from and they're getting louder towards you. Oh my God. Like
God,
instant
footsteps.
instant adrenaline,
Y'all
activated.
are funny as fuck.
No, for real though, for real.
Twix would be
I
like,
get
"Yo,
what
what up?"
I get what you're saying. I do. But I feel like I've been like, I don't know, horror is my genre, right? So I'd
Hmm.
be surprised if I find a game that scares me.
Right.
I
But
was
that
gonna
doesn't
say
Mhm.
mean
I
I
don't
can't
feel.
appreciate them though.
Yeah, appreciate them
You
for
know
Mm.
what
what
I'm
they
saying?
are.
Like
Yeah.
you can have a game like Franbo. That
Uh-huh.
game's not scary. You know, it
Mhm.
wouldn't freak you out or whatever. The most it would do is be like, "Oh my god, I feel bad for this little girl that has to like take
Yeah.
these pills because she'll see fucked up shit if she doesn't." Like that's not scary to me, and I can see where it could be scary to other people because other people have experienced those things before, like schizophrenia and all that
Yeah.
jazz.
I mean, I
Um,
feel like that's like definitely
and
a
it's not
big
a scary game, but it's a really
Mhm.
good game.
demo
So it
saying
doesn't
I
really
wouldn't
matter.
go higher than Keep Player, but it is a horror film after all. I'm assuming I don't know if they mean the fear factor portion or if they meant the gore portion. And then they also said without fear factor, what is the defining characteristic between horror and a thriller?
Mm.
That's true too. I don't know.
Mm.
Sometimes thrillers and horror kind of like intertwine with each other sometimes, depending on what it
Yeah, I
is.
do.
Yeah.
The fear
Yeah.
factor. Okay. So they believe that they wouldn't go higher than key player, but it is like important.
I
Yeah.
feel like I almost kind of feel like there should be something in between neutral and key player, but I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what that would be.
it's like getting crowded. I don't know what
Because
that is.
neutral's like and then key player is like okay, we
Well, no,
have to
eh
have
is
it.
supposed to be this one. This is like we can do without it.
No.
That's supposed to be
Mm, I don't
Like it's
know.
kind of like leaning towards
So
like
with neutral, you're feeling
Like
neither way though.
with you guys, what are you looking for in a horror game? Do you like the feeling of being scared or
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I
do
love
you
it.
just like the worlds?
Yes.
I
I
like the
Okay.
love
feeling of being scared. I
So
like the
fear
adrenaline
factor
rush.
then would be very important to all of you.
I
yes.
love it.
Okay. So
Uh-huh.
that would be higher up on the list.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yes.
I think it's
Yes.
So
fair,
if you're
at
not
Who
least.
put
spooking
it in
me, I'm
neutral?
bored. I'm
That was
bored.
just a
No, that's what.
placeholder.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That
what?
wasn't the official placement. No,
Okay.
I can't
And
believe
I've
it's
seen a
not
bunch
key
of horror
player.
movies.
I
Yeah,
think it's pretty damn important. I mean,
it is pretty important.
I don't think it's as important as like music, stress, realism, but
Mhm.
I think it's up here at least. All right, next.
Yeah.
Um, vulnerability. So I guess it kind of plays into the lack of resources again. Like
Oh. I mean, that plays more I feel like that because that makes me think of the realism.
the
Mm.
vulnerability feeling.
Yeah. Like in Outlast or whatever. You're running around, you can't fight back.
Yeah.
You only have a camera.
Mm.
hmm
Knowing that I can't fight back, I don't like
That's what makes that
I don't
game so
know.
scary, dude.
That
That you can't fight back.
vulnerability is scary. Like
But here's the twist to that though,
uh
because if you can't fight back and all you can do is hide, then what are you going to do then but run through the entire game as quick as possible
mm,
to get it over with?
yeah.
Like to me then you're not experiencing the game if you don't have some sort of way to prevent injury besides hiding, you know?
hmm
Mhm.
Because there's no way this man is not gonna pick up a weapon and fight. Like that's
Yeah.
not realistic to me.
Yeah.
So
hmm
that's a bit off-putting. But getting chased by, random shit, fucking men with their dicks out, like
Ooh.
Wow.
that shit was funny as fuck, but also like holy shit, you know? And then having to like crawl out a window and then crawl on the side of the building and like etch your way to the other fucking window.
Right.
Like that shit's fun. That
Yeah.
shit's spooky, right? But the fact that you
Mhm.
can't at least have an ability to like maybe like
Yeah.
shove your body into them and knock them down for
Yeah.
a little bit. Like shit like that would have I don't know, would have been cool. But I do see where they were going with it. Like
Yeah.
it is scarier for a lot of people when you can't fight back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Demo saying vulnerability definitely supplements all of the key aspects of horror. I think I think of the dichotomy between aliens, colonial marines, and alien isolation or amnesia.
Try petting her. She ran away. I did
Oh
not
my
swat
god.
that baby. Oh God, Lord have mercy.
But I feel like I feel like they kind of like go hand in hand with realism, as you guys said. I feel like if you don't feel vulnerable and you feel like you can just run through something, because like a lot of times, like the enemy AI could be so stupid that you can just like run past a room and then just move on. Like that just
Yeah.
breaks the tension. It doesn't scare you anymore. You don't feel
Yeah, and
vulnerable
you're doing
anymore.
nothing but fucking running around in Outlast, and it's like, are you
Mhm.
even able to take time to appreciate certain things? Like, are you able to look at what's written on the wall in blood, like,
Yeah,
without having to fucking stop and or like having to get fucking run over by a giant fucking fat
Rhino
fuck?
Man.
Yeah, like there's just no time to appreciate the actual game. It's just forced to be like, oh, you're getting chased, fucking run, scary, you know.
Although people are terrified of spiders, and I'm reading Demo's thing by the way. Although people are terrified of spiders, um, and we all have shoes to combat those mortifying creatures on a daily basis.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, we can fight back, bitch. We should be able to fight back.
yeah, true.
It's a fun concept though,
Yeah, it is.
which is great. So I'm not like shitting on it. I'm just I'm just like, I don't know, man.
It's just a realism factor for you. You feel like it's not
Yeah.
realistic, or as realistic as it could be because of that.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be able to fight back at least a little bit, like probably like a shitty kick or something. Like it wouldn't harm them at all, but like,
Yeah, even if we even got motherfucking James Sunderland or
yeah,
Mm.
Harry from fucking Silent Hill 1 that doesn't know how to do shit. Like they're fucking fending for themselves, you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
Like they're picking up a 2x4 or a pipe or whatever the fuck
And
and swinging at shit.
they're still keeping up
And you're telling me this guy decides to bring his fucking camera and that's it
with the worst
to
battery life
fucking
on fucking
insane
Earth.
asylum and to fucking document shit and not bring anything with him or like be willing to push
bro,
through some shit.
bro, literally brought a camera with like the
Mhm.
shittiest battery life on the planet Earth, and he had to go around fucking hospital and grab fucking battery ass covered batteries to put in that camera to try to make it work again. Like, if that
Yeah.
was realistic, then
It
those batteries would be freaking corroded.
ain't gotta be that fucking realistic.
His hand be burning. Like, ow, my
I'm
fucking
dead.
hand.
At least shove a bitch. Shove a bitch to the floor.
Okay, but vulnerability. What are we thinking? I think it's important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's important.
Sure.
Um, I would put it like
Meh.
Uh,
I put it like here. I guess I don't know. Either that or below. I don't know. It's somewhere up here. We'll just keep it there though. I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
oh,
For sake of time.
you good?
Candles.
This is lighting. So
Y'all.
Lighting is important as fuck, bitch. You ever play motherfucking Code Veronica?
I'm
That
dead.
shit's
Bro.
dark as shit.
It's so dark.
You can't
But
see a
that's the
fucking
most important
TV.
factor.
So like
If the
the
You
light
lack
gotta
of
be able to
light,
see.
how
I'm putting it the fucking down. I'm putting the game down if I can't see shit.
like
Or if it's not lit correctly.
you know what nails lighting? One of my favorite horror
Hmm.
games of all time, fucking Visage,
Hmm.
dude. It nails
Visage.
lighting. It nails it specifically with the Lucy section. So to put it into context, you are in this house that's very similar to PT, and you go through. It's like haunted, it's spooky, whatever, right? And you do these key missions. One of them involves you getting trapped in the basement with your only sources of light being cut off. You notice that all the light switches are removed from the wall. You are in complete darkness, and your only source of light is a fucking camera. And you snap pictures to see where the fuck you're going.
Mm.
And the game punishes you if you're in the dark too long. So it's
Oh.
like you have like a sanity meter. So if you're in the dark for too long, shit goes fucking crazy and then shit tries to kill you. So it's a big deal that the light was gone. It's a beautiful aspect of
Mm.
how lighting can be incorporated into a game. It was the best example I could ever have imagined, and it terrified me when I first played it.
Well, lighting is fucking important as shit.
It's
Yep.
really
Because if I'm
important.
playing a game and I have to fucking brighten up the gamma or switch my
Right.
monitor
Well,
around or fucking do that
Yeah.
shit like a
Mm.
bitch.
Honestly, PS2 games had that shit the fucking worst. Because you
DVD has
couldn't,
that
if
the
the game,
worst. What the fuck?
huh?
DVD got that the worst. I can't see half
Well,
Mhm.
the
at
shit
least you
I'm
It's
could
so
doing.
adjust
dark.
the
Yeah.
fucking settings on there. You know, on PlayStation, like what the game looked like, you just honestly had to deal with that shit. Like that was it.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I remember that shit too, having to like go on my TV and like try to brighten up my actual television so that way I could see where the fuck I was going.
Yeah.
Like it's so important.
Demo
Yeah.
says fear of the unknown is scary to almost everyone, and lighting is almost a universal way to manipulate that. And I agree with that. I think
Mhm.
it kind of like intertwines really well. Because if you don't know what's coming, and then you're in pitch black, and then something just like that's the time to do jump scares. Like
Mm.
not an excessive amount, of course, but like I don't know. I think lighting is really important too. I think it's one of the most important factors. Hey, and I say that probably with bias because I that one section of Visage literally fucking almost made me shit my pants.
In true life.
But if it were me, I would put it. If it were me, I'd probably put it like.
Y'all ever want to go towards the danger?
Well, yes.
After I've already played it, then I like go
On a
towards the
hard
danger.
day, sometimes I will just
I think
like,
That's
bro,
what
what
I
is
maybe
normally
that?
top
do.
tier.
I hear a sound, I'm like, all right, well, let me just go over here and check this out
Right.
because if
Mhm.
you're gonna
I'll
be
be like,
following
well,
me the whole
hello.
fucking game, bitch, you're gonna get shot up.
Yeah.
I don't have time to play these guys. uh,
So
Y'all.
are we okay with the placement for lighting?
Yeah.
Did everyone get
Yeah.
a
I
chance to speak on lighting?
I
Mm,
mean, I agree with whatever y'all said.
Okay,
mm.
Basically, you said it for me.
ready?
Um,
yeah.
I am gonna dip though, right
No
now.
problem.
Yeah, no problem.
But
Well,
thanks for letting
that
me hang
is
out. It's
be there.
cool.
Good
No
night,
problem.
bitch.
Oh,
Take
okay.
care, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care, Vanilla. Jump scares is the next one. I think
It don't mean
Jump
doo doo.
scares are
jump scares
jump scares can be done
in a
in a
class.
good way, but if they're
They
everywhere,
can.
if that's the main point of your horror, it's not very
Yeah,
good. It's cheap horror at that point.
yeah. I say we can do without it. I don't know if it's straight doo doo feces, but
Mm,
it's at least the very first ad we can do without it. Because
I guess so.
one of the best scares that I ever had was a jump scare. But it was like one
mm,
of very few, and it was the ending of Dead Space. I'm not gonna say what it was, but that shit
mm.
scared me so fucking bad. Like you think it's all over, but it ain't over. That's all I'll say.
And then over to us
Ooh.
over.
Like
Right.
that
It
the
ain't
jump
over till it's
scare at
over.
the end of that game was oh god, it was terrifying. It was so bad. But
Got you
like
clenching your booty cheeks.
like I was like one of the few times I was shaking like, because of how bad it got me because I didn't think it would happen. But I think this is a safe spot for jump scares. I think we're gonna keep that
Uh,
moving right along. Camera angles
important.
Yeah,
important
key player.
Um, yeah,
Or
key
the
player.
because
most important. Yeah.
sometimes you have like fixed ones, like kind of like the old Resident Evil games where they're like
Yeah.
there's fixed camera
Yeah,
angles.
fixed cameras. Yeah.
I think it kind of like adds to the experience a bit. I don't think it's like
And
super
sometimes it can point toward information that you might need, which is really cool to
like
incorporate that, you know?
I think when
Um,
fixed camera angles are incorporated well, I think they add to the experience quite a bit. It's like one of the
Mm,
aspects I kind of miss from the original ones versus how they're doing the remakes now. Is that they don't really
mm,
uh,
do shit like that anymore. Like if they had fixed camera angles with like modern controls, I would really be loving it even more than what it is right now. But I think it's a key player. I don't think it's as important as like AI and gameplay per se, but I think it's definitely up here for sure. I don't know how y'all feel
No, I think it's important. If my camera's fucking around and I can't fucking swivel it the way I want to swivel it, like that's annoying.
Mm,
You know, if it gets in the way. Sometimes in certain games you lock on to certain targets and then your camera freaks out because the target is too tall for the angle.
mm.
Whoa, what
So
the fuck
it's
just
really
happened?
important.
I
So
should have
how
just zoomed in.
that I did that.
Yeah, he did then.
Oh,
So how important are we thinking? Just like
I
above
think
the
it's good where it is right now.
yeah, I think it's pretty key.
cool.
Yeah.
This is kind of like deep lore. It's kind of goes one on one with collectibles, but it's kind of like I don't know if y'all ever like, oh my god, this game was so good. I want to like look
I
up
love
more
deep
about it.
lore.
I want
I
to
love deep lore.
I want to look up like on the wiki like more about this thing that I experienced.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
Like it's kind of like that, like stuff like maybe that isn't directly shown to you, but it's just like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that before until I like went on like wiki to look up more information about it because I often do
Bitch,
that.
deep lore is everything. Like,
Very.
I don't want to be fed like a child all the information in the world. Like, I want to look at things and read things and inspect things and gather up the story from that and be like,
Hmm.
holy shit.
Like
You
this
know?
is what happened.
Not fucking spoon fed.
Like, oh, the
Like,
monster is weak
yeah.
to silver. Like the zombies die if you shoot them in the head. Like yeah, like that. Like I hate that.
Yeah.
It's spoon fed
Like
to
if
you.
it's like that, I'm like, ugh. But if it's like, I mean, you could look at Silent Hill 2 as one of the biggest examples.
Hmm.
You have this guy, and on a first playthrough ever, like first time ever playing the game, you wouldn't know why the fuck these creatures look like this,
Hmm.
right? Until you really get that eye opening, like, oh, this is all about James and his inner psyche and he's created these like this town has created these things catered to his mind and it's like
Hmm.
why does this character look like this, why does this character look like that, why is this like this, you know and like having to look at little details like Angela's bitten nails, you can tell that she's got something going on,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Mm.
shit like that you normally wouldn't probably pick up on in your first playthrough. It gives more value to it for replayability.
Like
Same with
even
Bloodborne and the different endings for that. Like it's a good fucking game.
like it
And
kind of
that shit doesn't
almost.
spoon feed you either.
Oh no, definitely not. I kind of almost wish that you can kind of see like what they were saying too in their own versions of it because I mean Angela definitely has her own version of it. I forget what that other dude's name is with the
Eddie.
baseball with yeah, what Eddie's is. Like his
Mm.
is like probably like a lot of people insulting him for his weight, his intelligence, how he's like not as smart as
Yeah,
other
pretty
people and
much
stuff like that.
bullies and people that judge him, so he's like sick of that shit, so he wants to kill them basically. Very modern times.
Yeah.
Um I mean, that is not a lot of people like his story, but not a lot of people realize that, oh shit,
That he's a victim
that's where
too.
they're going with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah,
I feel like they did him justice in the remake. I think they incorporated his stuff like probably even better than the original in certain aspects of his story, at
Mm.
least. That's just my opinion.
yeah, both were good. Original and the remake. They were pretty faithful to everything, to be
Yeah, they
honest.
were. I think they did a really good job for the people that appreciated it for what it was and what it can be and on a
Yeah.
modern,
And like it also
piece of
gives more
technology.
life to it too,
Yeah, it does.
because people have been talking about that game since its fucking release.
Mhm.
They're still talking about how shit's connected and all this other shit. And it's like that gives so much more value than anything that would spoon feed you.
Yeah.
So
Demo
yeah.
says Deep Lore is the puzzle that adds so much more replayability. It's incredibly important for a title to last. Definitely key player. I would have
Yeah.
to agree. I think it's pretty
I'm
good.
glad you agree.
Yeah, what do you think,
Yeah, I
Miles?
agree.
Are you guys okay with where it is? Yeah, I like that there.
I guess so. I'm
Yeah.
kind of not really thinking about that at this time.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh god, it's tweaking. There we go. This is quick time events.
Can
Because
No.
live without them.
because Telltale is like infamous for having a lot of these, so I got a picture from that. Walking Dead.
Yeah, that is The Walking Dead. That's cute.
Yeah,
Walking Dead.
I don't really care about them.
yeah,
If anything, they ruined the in-game cutscene
I agree with
with
that.
like,
Mm,
oh shit, all of a sudden there's an A button. I wasn't paying attention. Died, ruins the scene, has to do it over again and not pay attention
Yeah,
to the story in order to get
right.
the button correct. Like that just takes away from it.
I think it's the doo-doo feces. I never
Mm.
really cared for them.
Doo doo. Poo
Doo-doo
poo
feces.
caca.
Quick time events, get out. Yeah, fuck that
Yeah.
Get
shit.
out.
I appreciate the stuff when it's
Mm,
like, oh, you got grabbed by an enemy. Let's, mash this button to get out. Like it gives you something to do while you're getting
Yeah,
grabbed. But other than that, like it's not fucking necessary.
no,
yeah.
definitely not. Um, uniqueness. Like,
Uniqueness is pretty important because we have a lot of copycat games.
yeah, I hate like
That's like, ugh, we've seen this before type stuff.
yeah, because like you see that a lot with like mascot horror now. It's like, oh, everyone's trying to be the next Five Nights at Freddy's, or everyone's trying to be the next Resident Evil, or
Or you have it to where it's like, oh, well, let's bring this IP back, woo, because we don't have any original ideas.
exactly.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna ruin this
Yep.
because we're shit at creating our own stories now.
Yeah.
Like I almost have more of an appreciation for like uh, indie horrors now than I do like
D.
triple
Indie horrors. Indie.
Oh.
indie
Yeah.
horrors. Like some of my favorite
Indie
ones
games.
ever were actually indies. Like Inscription was fantastic. I love Darkwood. Carry On's really fucking fun.
Mm,
Visage is great. I think I said Darkwood already, but I fucking love that game so much. There's just a lot of these like, it doesn't have the full budget of the other ones, and a lot of times they like have that more pixely appearance to them sometimes. And sometimes I feel like that adds more to it than takes it away.
Mm.
But and I feel like a lot of the stories with the indies are usually more unique, at least from my experience.
indies.
Enjoy.
Indies. But
Um.
I think uniqueness is extremely important. I think it's
Mm,
up there. I
yeah, I
don't.
think so too. I think that could be a key player.
Yeah, it is important because, like, if you're looking at horror now, who the fuck else is going out of, the ballpark like Terrifier?
Yeah,
Like,
like
they didn't kill
nobody.
a kid on screen, but they showed, like, shit happening a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Like, no one else is doing that. And you have a lot of people talking about it and then going to the theater and being fucking idiots and leaving the theater because,
yeah,
like, you knew what you were in for.
yeah.
Like, that's unique to me.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Oh, no one else is doing that. Instead, you have fucking Scream coming back for the billionth time
Mm-hmm.
and butchered Halloween. Like, 'cause they don't fucking make original shit. So stupid.
It's true. This is like only has part of the word, but this is relatability. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with like realism, I guess. But I guess like how relatable something
Mm,
like a horror story or just aspects of the gameplay.
I don't think it has to be as relatable as it has to be realistic. Because I'm not gonna relate to James Sunderland killing his fucking wife and like
That part.
imagining his wife as like a hooker basically. Like I don't relate to that.
Duh.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that it's realistic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't think it's as important.
I don't think it needs to be relatable at all.
No,
Yeah.
I would say
Actually,
probably
I watch horror movies to not relate.
yeah,
Yes.
because life is scary enough.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Life is our own
I
fucking horror
watch it
movie
to watch something
that
bad
we
happen
can't
to
escape
somebody
from.
else, not
Yeah.
me.
I
Oh, that's
think
so relatable. I watched my fucking
Right.
my friend get butchered at blah blah blah. Like who wants to remember that?
yeah,
Right.
really.
And two, like, what the fuck?
I feel like most people, if they've ever had a moment where their life was like a horror movie, are not watching horror movies
Exactly.
at all.
So yeah, not important. Not doo cacat, but like
Yeah.
not
I
Yeah,
important.
think
we could
I
do
think we
without
can
it.
do without it. I don't think it's needed.
Yeah.
All right. What a terrifying thing to have every horror film that I've seen to be horror. I can't read. I'm reading what Demo said. What a terrifying thing to have every horror film I've seen to be relatable. Every scene that they've seen is relatable. Demo.
Relatable.
This is monster design.
Monster design, everything.
I think it's the most. I think
It's
it's one of
Yeah.
gotta
the
fit
most.
their story. It's
Yeah.
gotta be good.
Because I mean, I had to go with my boy Dredge because he's fucking killing
Dredgina.
every single outfit ever that he's had. Like he's had like one outfit that I don't like, and it's not. I mean, not counting recolors because that's still his original design. Naturally, Dredge is the baseline. Exactly. He is literally the baseline. Like he's. I mean, obviously, it's an opinion on what I think of killer designs and stuff, but
Hmm.
Dredge, you can't top it. I'm sorry. You have like giant mutant crabs. You have a mutated dead reindeer. You have Frosty the Snowman that's fucking demented and distorted. You have the Junji Ito skin that's coming out that's literally fucking dead ghostly corpses coming out of it. Like if y'all, I sent that skin in the chat or whatever. Like it's so fucking cool. Look up that skin now if y'all have a chance to see it. It's sick.
Eh.
Like
Okay.
it's peak monster design. And when I thought of this one, I'm just like Dredge. I think is the perfect example for that because it embodies
Mm.
so many different creative ideas that I feel like even in Dead by Daylight, like they get like limited on what they're able to do because of like what
Hmm.
like them being human or just being a monster. Like this thing could be like this thing could literally be a Iron Maiden mascot. Like it could be anything it wants,
Literally.
and I fucking love that about the Dredge. I love that. Every monster in every game from now on, Dredge. Yes,
Bridge.
yes. Monster design. I think it's really really important. One of the most important, in fact.
It's very important, yes.
Okay. On that note, I have to say goodbye. I am falling asleep.
No problem, Miles. I appreciate you sticking around
Uh-huh.
as long as you have.
Yes. Appreciate y'all. Have fun
Yeah.
ranking.
Thank you
Oh,
very
hey.
much.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's a demon.
What happened?
Welcome through.
Not the
The
demon.
person in your chat.
It's
Um,
demoing.
The demo.
Demoing. Got it.
Uh,
All right. See y'all later.
and
Bye.
Take
Ramila.
care, Miles. Have a great night.
Eat sorry.
All right. So we're
Alright, let's speed run this bitch.
be
Because
running.
I'm gonna tap out too.
All right. Isolation.
Isolation? Um, I mean, that's kind of like in everything.
Yeah. I mean,
Majority of the time, this character says, "Oh, go do this," and then you go do it on your own,
yeah. I mean, I
and
feel
that's
like.
what you do.
I mean, I feel like it's just in everything. I don't know if it like does that make it equate to it being like the most important if it's in everything? Like, how do we?
Honestly, it probably makes it a trope because not a lot of times you like see you have a partner. Like Maria kind of does fuck all,
Uh
but
huh.
she's still with you and she still gives you that there's another person here kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the game is like you're fighting shit on your own. Like it's
So
I'm so used to that being in games and in, movies and stuff that I'm just like, okay, whatever.
yeah. So if it's
It's kind of like
trope,
a trope at this point.
if it's a trope, is it doo doo feces or?
No, it's not dude faces.
But we could
I'd
do
say,
without
but
it.
in neutral.
Neutral. Okay.
Yeah, stick it in neutral because, a lot of people find that to be scary to be on their own fighting shit,
Yeah, that's
instead of
true.
with like a buddy.
Um,
So,
this is
eh.
Fear of the Unknown.
For the unknown, I feel like is important, but it depends on the person.
Like it's like if is it still impactful for a second playthrough if you already know everything that's gonna happen?
No. That's only really good for the one playthrough.
Yeah, I think
Maybe the second if it's like towards the middle or end of the game.
I feel like it's kind of tough to rank it because like it's definitely a feeling that's prevalent and I experience a lot, and I always feel sad after I beat a game because it's just like, "Damn it." Now I'm gonna like know what happens. And
Yeah, but once it hits, and that's memorable. So
yeah,
that means it's pretty good.
uh, I would say key player, like top of key player maybe. I think I'll put it there.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair because it's definitely prominent, but I don't think it's like everything. Pacing, slow burner versus like constant action. How much does that matter?
I think it matters a lot,
Mm,
honestly.
I do
I don't
too.
want to be bored playing my game, but I don't want to be like, oh, this is a hack and slash kind of vibe.
Yeah, boredom is like the number one thing that makes me drop something. It's like if I'm not like enjoying it, being like stimulated, interested, then I lose all interest and I just drop it. And
Yep.
it could have like the best story ever too. Like if I don't like it, if I'm bored by the pacing of it, I'm just gonna let it go. Um, I think it goes in most important.
Yeah.
Goes up here. Voice acting.
Um,
And this can go,
probably top of key player
yeah.
because
And this can go for
there's
like
some cringy
lines
shit.
too. Like if there's like cringy stuff too, like the dialogue being said along with
Yeah.
like the voice performance.
Yeah, but see, sometimes the dialogue is so cringe that it's just so good,
They're
you know?
OG
So it's
Resident
important, but
Evils.
OG fucking Silent Hills,
Well,
yeah.
then I would argue that that would make it not be as important because if it can be good without like the skillfulness of the voice acting or the lines being read, like
I
then it
guess it
then
would
it
just
can
have to
still then it can still
depend on how you take it.
yeah, because for me it's like like if it's voice acting very important. I'm reading Emo's thing. Voice acting is very important. I don't want it to sound like it was phoned in from an intern bathroom.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that would be, the sound and stuff, but, like, the dialogue itself, like, as long as you know what they're trying to say, then you're good.
yeah.
But if they're fucking literally going, "Oh, wait, let me do that again," and that's in the fucking game,
Wait, did you ever
like, what
did
the
you
fuck? That's
oh
in something, I swear it's in something.
no, it
I
is.
think it's
It's
maybe is it in,
it's
like, Half-Life or something? Something like
no,
that.
no, I know what you're talking about. It might not be the exact thing that you're mentioning, but there's a game out there that literally puts in like an outtake, like a blooper, and they put it in the
Yeah.
game.
I just don't remember
It
what
was
game it
it
is.
was plumbers don't wear ties, and I saw it from
Is
an
that
angry
the
video
game?
game. Uh, Yeah, they literally like fucked up a line or whatever, and they kept it in, and like the actors were laughing or whatever. It was so dumb. But I watched it in an angry video game nerd restaurant episode like years ago. It was just so weird that they had that in there. Also, shout
Mm.
outs to that guy. That his videos are. I used to watch them all the time. Um, but yeah, like it was plumbers don't wear ties, and it was literally like formatted like like a PowerPoint slideshow. Like it didn't even have animation or anything. It was so stupid. But that's what that.
Mhm.
Uh, we ranked that one, didn't we? Yeah, we put it up at the top now.
I don't
Pacing,
know.
I think. I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. Level design.
Level design goes with just design in general, and that's pretty damn important.
Mm-hmm. Key player or most important? I hate backtracking
Um,
because that's something you definitely have to consider if it's a
well, what
lot
do
of
we do here? Blah, blah, blah. Level design. Uh, I don't know. My brain's dying.
yeah. I think it's top of key player at least. I'll probably put it
But
most
there you
important.
go.
here just for the hell of it, because I think it is pretty damn important. Sounds. This is my hot take. I think sound's the most important thing. Like even more important than story. Like if you have good sound effects and there's no story, no visuals, and you just like listen to something like entirely gory or
Sound
scary or
design is. We're on sound design.
yeah,
That we're on. Very important.
I think it's
Extremely important.
I think
Like, if your shit sounds like ass, the game's not good.
yeah.
Like the
I
sound design in the Silent Hill games well, like the first couple,
yeah.
were so good that it's like, how the fuck did they do that in a
Yeah.
fucking PS2, PS1 game? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, really.
That's insane.
It
And it
is
was so
insane.
good.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's the sound design in that game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um the sound design in Darkwood was really good too. Like the creaking wood, the stepping on the of the grass as you're in the dark woods and stuff. Like that's and the stomping of your boots as you're like walking around like a cabin or something. Like it's just there's just so many good sound effects that are in games, and I think like it's definitely the most important thing for me. I think sound design trumps story and monster design. That's like the only thing that trumps that for me. Like there's even songs in like Inscription that like there's one for context. There's a song that's in the game. You're playing a card game against a hunter that skins animals, and the song literally has the sound of the hunter skinning an animal in the song, and
Yeah.
like you just hear it, and it's like, oh, disgusting, but it's so good. It's the oh god, it's definitely the scariest part of that game for me is just that song. Like, and you hear the skin ripping off of the animal. It's cut as they're cutting it. Like
Yum.
what that's what cements sound design as being like the most important thing for me. Because when it's done well, it's terrifying. It's terrifying than actually seeing something scary.
Yeah.
Demon. Oh my god, its demo says, I feel like it's definitely incredibly important due to it being tied directly to immersion, which is possibly the most fundamental aspect of a horror game. I would definitely agree with that. I think it's like you need this. You need sound design or it's gonna fail. That's just my opinion. You could
Yeah.
have the scariest thing in front of you. If it sounds like a fucking kitten, I'm not scared of it anymore. You know what I mean? Like if it sounds
Yeah.
like a kitty cat or like a bunny rabbit or
All right, ho.
whatever.
What's next? The end.
The end. The ending.
Bitch, number one, bitch. If your game ends like dog shit, what the fuck was the point? Never gonna play that fucking game again. Never gonna recommend it to anybody. It's like watching Game of Thrones. Like it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
The
Like
ending is
you
so
have
bad. It's not even worth to watch all the good stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, demo
Yeah.
says number one.
Yeah.
Don't even mention Game of Thrones. Tell me now.
Yeah. See, bitch.
Yeah, it's a shame because the first 3, 4 seasons of that show were fucking peak, dude. Like
Uh,
for me, once they killed off what's his face, Tywin Lannister, the show fucking went to shit. He's the best fucking villain on that show. I love Tywin. Great.
fucking. Oh my god.
What?
Like what the fuck? What the fuck? How do you
Uh,
just like fuck up that bad?
I know, like I literally when I was watching it for the first time, I was literally laughing of like what they were doing to it. I'm just like, you cannot be fucking serious.
Yeah.
Demo says Daenerys had a lobotomy and murdered everything down to the damn bricks. True. It was oh my god, it just felt so out of character. And if that was what they were originally gonna go with, then they did a horrible job of setting it up. And like the times that she was like supposedly killing someone in that show, she usually had a good reason to do it. Like if they're not bending the knee to her or they're freeing slaves, then yeah, I get that. But You can't just go from that to, burning down a whole fucking kingdom. Like that doesn't make sense. She's evil now because reasons. Like, no, it doesn't make sense, dude. Oh my god, it's so stupid. You want a villain in the show. They fucking had a villain like 2 episodes before that, and they fucking kill him off. Like, what? So dumb. Night King should have been like the evil of all evil. If anything, Daenerys should have died from him, and then he should have been the final battle. Hell, I wanted him to win at the end. I wanted the Night King to win because I fucking hated everybody by the end of it. It was like, fuck this shit. I'm fucking done with this drama. I want Night King to just take it, and I want to see what the fuck happens. Killed off the big bad in the 3rd episode. Yes, exactly. That shit pissed me off. Exactly.
Fucking cringe.
For real. But anyway,
All right, well,
that's
I'm
our
gonna fucking
list.
go because I'm gonna die. Yeah.
That's our list, everyone.
GG's, everybody.
GG's. Thank you, Twix, for hanging in there. I'm
Uh,
sorry that it took so long.
it's
I tried to
okay.
speed it up towards the end for you, but I'm grateful
Yeah.
that you were able to hang out and chill out with everyone and make this
Yes.
tier list with me. But
Yes. Yes.
GG's.
All right. Bye.
All right. Take care, Twix.
You too, dude.
Bye
Bye, demo.
bye. All right. Let's see if we can raid somebody. I want to see if anyone's on real quick. It always takes me like an hour to find the person to raid. We'll see. GG's. Bye, lads. Take care, Demo. I appreciate it. Also, welcome, QDK. Appreciate you for showing up, chilling with us. Let's see who's anybody on. Because it's saying it's having internet issues. Might just have to end it. Right. Give it a minute. It'll work. I just do like raid and then an exclamation point or something. Just want to see who's on and then try to see if I can raid. Who is on? There's quite a few people on actually. We haven't raided Stove in a while. We can try that. Go raid Stove. I want to see if it'll actually let me though. Manage. Raid. Where is Stove? All right, we're gonna read a Stove. They are playing a game called Loom Island. Let's just show him some love. He's a cool dude. He's always fun. He's always chill to hang out with. He's been really cool to me and my other friends. So we're gonna pay him a visit, show him some love, and I'll catch you on the next one. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and thank you for hanging out with me. Talking about freaking tropes in horror movies. What makes a horror game the way it should be versus aspects that don't really matter so much. But I will catch y'all later. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye, everyone.